And welcome back to the Basil Breen Boombox. Hopefully I'm actually in the shot when I'm just looking at this camera now. I'm guessing what do you say? Are you?
Jimmy the bastard, let me pass me that.
Jimmy the bastard, let me pass me that. Jimmy the bastard, let me pass me that. Jimmy the bastard, let me pass me that.
That is not you!
Alright. Hold on a minute, right? This is mine. I brought you some iPod. I have a bit of plan.
Make sure to visit.
Hold on, right? Welcome back to the Basil Breen Boombox, and shut your mouth for a minute. I'm here with the creatures of habit, aka the Ketamine Cowboys.
Box is out of the box.
It's out of the box. Because I don't know where I get all my energy from. Now you know these are my suppliers of the finest source products.
Ketamine.
They say it in one of their songs, right? They're not fucking big time schmar dealers or anything. But who knows? Anyway, we won't be letting you know.
I plead the fifth. Don't have me saying I'm incriminating on this podcast.
Fine. I was surprised just made it here because I was hard to get in contact with just this morning. Apparently they were 7 a.m. on a mad one. They were living up to the Creatures of Habit's name, actually.
Yeah. Techno.
And a bit of techno.
Techno.
It was the first time that I've ever had to worry of the whereabouts of my guests. In fairness, like normally it's like, oh, I get a text before. Like, oh, I'll be in a minute, I'll be here. But you guys are just like, you could be dead.
We were on the way. We nearly missed that stop as well.
Yeah,
we were that close to missing the stop.
Everyone worries about our whereabouts at all fucking times. Like, they don't know where we are. They can't see us coming ever.
Yeah,
we just arrive when we want. Like, if we're supposed to be there, we're there.
Yeah. Well, no, but if we say we're going to be there, we will be there. But it's just a matter of getting there somehow.
Yeah.
We didn't know how to get here until this morning. It was like, oh, we just get the darts.
Yeah.
Got the dart ticket, which was a fucking nightmare.
Oh, that
He's got
machine.
the dart.
Me and him couldn't fucking use the fucking train. We were like, how do you use this machine? Like,
How do you train?
There's like a lion just keep on.
we're just constantly screaming. The goddamn like, take me cash, take me cash.
Why won't you take my money? He just kept spitting it back out. We're like, what is happening?
He's not going to be happy with us.
We need to make this game.
So we get there, right? We're sitting on the dart waiting for it to depart for fucking honestly 20 minutes. I'm like, I need a smoke.
What's going on, yeah?
Savage like, no, man, it's gonna take off as soon as it's I was like, right, I'll tell you what, I'll roll it now, and then I'll go outside. The minute I lit the thing, we were both outside the fucking door.
Shut up, lad.
He sticks his arm in the fucking door and then he gets cut off, bro. And we're like pulling the thing out, about to miss the train, the
I
scary.
literally put my head in. Take me now, man.
I'm telling you now. So then we're grand there, we're sitting there chilling out, listening to a few tunes on the fucking dart anyway, looking at the views, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, we're on it for a while. I'm like, I'm going to check the map and see where Skerries is, because I didn't actually do that. We're just going to go, we'll wait to be told when Skerries is, you know?
Just gotta wait and see. Hopefully it's get on.
I paid for the service. Someone may come and tell me, like, you know what I mean?
But no one's gonna come and tell you.
When I was waiting for you as well, everyone had already passed, and I was just thinking, oh no, they're after messing this up or something.
No,
We nearly did.
Yeah, we jumped off last second. We were like, oh bollocks! Like, we just didn't know. He's like looking on his phone to find out where we are.
And you just go, bro.
I just said next stop. Something's oh bollocks! I just started out
It's been out this way before.
No, it looks familiar. I think I have been. I don't know why.
Not a mad one.
Honestly, it looks familiar. Like, I think I have been out here before, but I don't know when.
He hasn't.
Yeah.
He hasn't.
I was definitely at that stop. I was definitely at that stop.
He's lying.
Is Malahoy's close there, like?
Close enough.
Yeah, I was out at
But
Malahoy.
not really. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is scary, yeah.
Yeah, oh, sorry. Yes.
Some woman got on the dart and just goes, Malahide? I was like,
Jimmy
yeah. I was like,
yeah.
And then I was like, I don't know actually. I'm not quite sure. The door is closed.
It's probably still on that train. Don't even draw it now.
Shut up, man. But look, anyway, I'm delighted I just made it here. The creatures of habit.
Yeah.
Are the habit of making things on time, or at least making it to the place in some physical state. You're here.
Yeah, I was here.
Yeah, we're always here. Anyway, right, let's get back to basics, right? So, I've learned that we need to go back with my guests to the beginning of time. So the origins. When did the creature emerge and start getting into all these little habits or whatever he was
Well, I
at?
was born the same day the British shaman.
Yeah.
So history
Wait, really?
repeats itself.
Yeah.
You're taking the piss.
No, yeah. Swear to God. The same day to Hiroshima. That's the 6th of August.
What?
That's the day I was born, yeah.
That's insane.
Got a nuclear mind, I know I see that. Do you know what I mean?
We got a nuclear mine and
His mind is not clear this morning.
It's hazy
not
this
clear.
morning. Like,
No.
fucking.
We're blown up like that's hilarious. That's
Yeah.
so
He was
interesting.
like, what do you make?
And I was born on the day of Hiroshima.
Hiroshima and Nagasaki right here. Shut up. I'm not leaving you. I believe in him.
Yeah, no, he's lying.
I'm not lying to you.
He's lying.
No.
So after the initial nuclear explosion, right?
Yeah.
When did you two ended up meeting?
We met in school, like. So,
Okay.
like, we were in secondary school together, Fair House. And,
Hey, don't
Fair House
Don't do
representing.
yeah, Fair House girl.
Don't,
Yeah.
don't be talking about too
oh,
much.
wait
like.
there. Let me move that a little bit closer to your head.
I will get loud. Just so you know.
Getting loud is perfect.
Yeah, so
Getting
like,
far away isn't
Yeah, that's the
I'm
issue,
just gauging
yeah.
him. I'm just gauging
No, you're
him. Like,
grand, you're grand.
I'll
Everything's
come in hot.
Yeah, hot is grand. I can figure out. I can
he's an
deal with
ugly
hot.
cunt, like, he's an ugly.
Anyway, don't be derailing. I'm just making sure it's not too hot. Anyway,
Too hot.
right there.
Call the police. No fireman. Too hot.
Right there.
Make a drag
Sponsored by
on to be time, man. Too
Coca-Cola.
hot.
Have a good time.
Actually, this is sponsored by Iron Brew Daily.
right.
If you're watching this, you know.
You know, Daily, keep your hands to yourself.
Deep River Rock, stay on the cocaine.
Okay, talking about
Sponsored
derailing there,
Sponsored
like,
by Pablo
I don't
Escobar.
Daily didn't like that, but
we met in Fairhouse. We were both doing cocaine in the bathroom while drinking River Rock.
He took a shit in the urinal, like.
this is a family show.
Sorry,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, we are family. Like at this point, I consider him my brother actually, because we didn't hang out that much in school
Okay.
until the very last few years, probably 5th and 6th year.
Oh,
And
interesting.
we got music together, man, and that was the fucking shit then, man. I found out he loved
What, you
fucking
did
rap.
music class?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there was a class, and then we were doing like fucking vocal lessons and shit together. Like,
No
for the
way. What was you
barbershop.
doing in vocal? What did you start in music class with? You didn't go in gangbanging and hell raising with like hip hop.
No, I did music since I've done
Yeah,
music
yeah.
since I'm 11. I know
Okay.
fucking theory now.
Oh, Thierry, bro.
I pissed through fucking 1st to 3rd year, and I thought I could do it in 5th year when I
Yeah.
actually went to music with him. So I was helping him out with the basics.
Okay.
Then I got
I
to a
didn't do it
point.
forced tutorials.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I was
Oh,
doing,
so you're just like, I'm going to go into music now.
Yeah, I was doing home ec actually. Too.
Oh, you look like a home ec lad.
Yeah, I was cooking.
I'd
up
love to do
stuff.
home ec,
Man, I was
actually.
just
Yeah.
paint walking through, like just cooking up
Just
storms
making yourself
every day.
that
Sounds
pastry.
So good, man.
I'd
honestly,
loved. That would have been so much more useful than biology. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Now,
yeah.
like I know biology was alright, but
It was a pain in the ass.
yeah,
Shout
I
out
wanted
Carlos
to.
Foster.
Yeah.
He ain't nothing but biology, baby.
Yeah, man.
Look, we're different.
It's actually the first song I released. Like, it was with my friend Carlos called Biology.
Yeah.
Honestly.
You're just full of little facts, aren't you?
Carlos was in my chemistry class in Fairhouse.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
how we all know each other.
Yeah, I know Carlos since primary school. Like actually know him since preschool. But then he moved to Jobstown, I think it was, like, and like we were like, it was around my area, like
Who's
before.
Carlos?
Carlos
Carlos
is
Foster, man.
Carlos.
He's one of the producers of Grease Album, like.
Yeah, one of the producers, man. He was
Shout out to Carlos, the missing member.
Yeah,
Shout out to Carlos, yeah.
Jesus, it's I thought it was just a twosome. But
I'm
it's a
supposed to be going
threesome.
down to Carlos after him.
He moved
but
down the
I don't
sticks,
know,
bro.
so
He's
I'm
down
gonna
in the
be pushing
sticks.
a bit later.
Find himself in the forest. Or
He's a
something.
proper creature.
Yeah, no, he's like balancing the fucking chakras down there.
Yeah. So there's yin and yang, and then there's Carlos.
Yeah. No, well, Carlos is more like yin and yang.
Yeah, he's a mixture of both.
He's a mixture of both, yeah.
Yeah.
We're the chaos in the yin
Yeah,
and
like we
yang.
sit in
like,
the room and we make music together, and you don't know what you're gonna come out with. When
Ah,
you
that's
make it.
brilliant.
Yeah, like,
So wait there. So then you start doing. You ended up in music in school together.
yeah.
So what was your like sort of pull to do music in school?
Well, look, I started learning guitar. Like, I actually was 3rd year in school from primary junior, said right, and I ended up getting caught smoking weed in my classroom.
Ah, shut up.
Me
Could you not
That's
just
a
what?
fact.
Like
That's a
what?
fact.
What? You can't wait 10, 15 minutes.
Me tutor class, honestly, like, no, like, me tutor class, and like,
Oh man, I can't lie. School.
trying to
next
justify
class,
it now.
next
He's gonna
class,
try to
I made,
justify
like,
it.
I found a ninja star, like, it was like a paper ninja star, and like, I flinged it across the road at me mate Dizzy, who was also like creatures of habit, like, as well, like, but
How many creatures is
there was
there?
4 of us originally.
There's too many, man. Everyone's a creature to us.
Yeah,
yeah.
open things like a Wu-Tang thing as well.
Yeah.
You're a creature, like, you know?
You're a creature now.
Yeah. One of us, like.
One of us. So
Hey, have
then,
you seen our creature tattoos?
no.
Yeah, we got creature tattooed on us.
How do we do this for the camera?
Well, wait, hold on. He's like derailing my like nice simple
We're not used to the
conversation.
rail system.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
the first time using a dart in
Get
the
back
world.
on! right? So
You're the train
you
conductor.
got caught smoking weed in your class.
Yeah,
and
third year, yeah. So
man.
I ended up having to like for the school to let me back in. They made me do like counselling and things like that, and my mom was going mad, obviously, like, cause
Yeah.
like, I was a tick, like I was just like smoking loads of weed.
Oh, your son's been smoking weed in school. You're
Yeah,
like,
like-
imagine you're just like, oh no. Like,
Stupid shit, like, but so like I ended up like just basically like sitting in my gaffer like about 2 months, like just didn't leave it, like had stopping smoking
Yes.
weed or whatever, like, and like I picked up a guitar, like my granddad taught me a few chords like when I was like real young. I can't remember them, it was like A, D and C or something. I still remembered, like, and then like picked up a guitar and just started playing it when I was like in them 2 months, and
okay.
fucking that's how
I'm gonna get into some music.
yeah, like it's just like I was like I wasn't writing raps or anything.
Okay.
Like I was kind of writing raps, but I wasn't. Like,
were just
it was
taking the
for a
piss
bit of
with it,
fun,
like,
Yeah. You're just getting pulled into music.
Yeah, like I always wrote, like even like poetry or rap as well when I was younger. Like
Interesting.
like it's always been something I've kind of wrote. Like
Yeah. And then with you just had a kind of a musical background from 11, let's say.
Yeah, I got into music when I was very young. Well, not very young actually, but about fucking 9, 10ish.
Okay.
You know.
Was it like piano or?
No, I just because I was very shy as a kid, you know.
Okay.
I didn't talk to fucking nobody. Music's how I kind of worked into it. Joined a
Interesting.
marching band when I was like fucking 11.
Marching band. Where was the marching band?
In Tala, baby.
Tala's
The
marching
Tala
band.
band, yeah.
Represent.
Yup, man.
Oh
So
man.
I had no fucking coordination as a kid. I was very shy. I was
Yes.
pretty had no rhythm or nothing. Got into a march band, learned how to fucking, you know, get that rhythm and drums and shit. like that.
Brilliant.
Learning kind of social skills and shit like that. And meanwhile, I was listening to music like The Doors and The Who and shit like that. And I just found a good bit of escapism in it. Like, you know what I mean?
Interesting. And
But then I just threw my life into it. It was fucking lovely.
so straight away, basically, you just took it was your own initiative that pulled you into music. It wasn't like your
Yeah,
parents
yeah,
were like,
yeah.
"Oh, you need to get into the classics," or
No. Well, my parents influenced the music. You know? I was
Yes.
listening to their
Just-
music.
yeah.
And they were the ones
Why not?
ultimately that said you should join this marching band. Do you know what I mean? So they got me into that band.
Tala marching band.
Yeah,
That just
man.
sounds so cool.
It really wasn't.
Do you know? No, but that's the thing. Do you ever think, like, let's say the Scouts, right? When I was growing up,
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, the Scouts! Look at these lads dressing up in their little uniforms." But imagine knowing how to start a fire now, or imagine knowing how to survive in the wilderness. Imagine knowing how to drum a cool little beat on a drum. All them stuff that you taught. Well, let's say from my naive point of view, that wasn't cool or whatever. It would have been so good to have a few of them things.
Yeah, but I wasn't cool then
Yeah.
anyway. I didn't give a fuck. Like, I was not cool at all. So I was like, fuck it, I'll join the marching band. Do you know what I mean? And in fairness, it was actually unreal.
Yeah.
I was just
You could
mad
do
for
competitions
sports.
and yeah, he was a sport. I
was
didn't
a
know I did sports
man,
as well.
Like,
Yeah.
I wanted. That's what I originally wanted to do. Was like become like a personal trainer and all.
Okay.
But like I needed like a certain amount of points for me leaving it, and I just got
Yes.
too stoned in the last year. I was
That's
just,
what
He
happens.
drank too many pints.
Do you know what's actually this is a problem I see with because like there was a lot of weed when I was growing up. I was only ever really stoned once at school, and I got so paranoid I tried to walk home, and then I got so paranoid of getting caught, I ended up walking back, and because lads just gave me a big. Do you ever have these big waterfalls, the turbos?
Yeah,
That's what we used
Like
to
a
do. With the
gravity
ball.
yoke.
Yeah, the gravity
Yeah,
yokes.
no.
But like
Bad news.
sometimes the weed. Like there was a period where the weed I thought was not weed. It was like crackling in the thing, and you know, I mean, it has this kind of weird.
It's always cut with something.
It felt weird. Like the high off it was like it was different. It was psychological. You know what I mean?
Was it during the time of the head shop?
I don't know. It could have potentially. And I've done salvia before. It wasn't like that. It was just there was always the different strains, and certain strains were just fucking. But these waterfalls, right? So you're like, I know lads that were before school. You're probably in this as well. Like just sucking these things into them, going into school, and then getting stoned during class even during lunch.
Like my whole time in secondary school, I was basically
That's
stoned.
the thing. And so the problem, like, let's say weed gets legal, right?
Yeah.
Weed's already super accessible, right?
Yeah.
And it's super strong.
To
Now these
decriminalise
days,
it wouldn't be a bad idea to decriminalise.
no,
it,
no,
but, like,
decriminalising it.
to
I'm not.
make it fully legal, like, and sell it like the way it is in Amsterdam and all. I'm
It's
not
hard.
Sure,
It's
like,
it's when
you put tax on it and all, you'd make
Yeah.
money, but like as well, like it's like alcohol is
I
barely.
know.
Like, if alcohol is legal, weed isn't as bad as alcohol. But
What I mean,
it's not good either.
I don't think it should be. You should be criminalised. I think it should be, let's say, legal, but it opens up another box where basically, okay, now we have super strong strains, and we have teenagers accessing these mega strains now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I know that I was in some serious holes when I was stoned. But imagine, because when you're young, you're like, oh, yeah, do more. Like, don't feel that
Did you ever
fucking...
smoke the head job stuff?
I only smoked salvia a few, once or twice.
What was that like? I never smoked
triple
that.
beer at. Did you ever smoke that stuff?
No. I never got the salvia.
You hit the brands
Did
and
you
all
do it?
that?
No, never the salvia out there, but I don't like the King Triple B and all.
What's
It's
that?
like, it was like the equivalent of their weed, but you just smoke, man. But it was like, you get stoned, but like, it wasn't like a normal stone that you get off weed or hash. Like, I was sitting there watching telly for like an hour and I couldn't tell you what the fuck was on the telly. Like, everything was just really
Jesus.
small and like, slow.
Yeah, man.
It's like, whoa, what the fuck is going on here? Like, you know,
That's
waking up and-
ropey.
Yeah, like it was all just fucking mad shit. That they
Why
were
did
putting
you
in
do
bath
that
salts and all
though?
it.
You could have bought weed easier though.
You
Why
could
did
have,
you
but
even
at the
do
time,
that?
like-
You're just like, oh, try this thing.
At the time, like it was like everyone was smoking it, like, you know,
Yes.
it was just like it
And
was
the bath
very
salts as
accessible.
well.
It was legal, like to
I wouldn't
buy
do
in the
that
shops
shit.
at the time. Like you could buy it
Yeah.
in the shops, like you went into the shop and bought it, like, and they had to like fucking
They had to bring
that.
it all down.
Yeah, they had
Yeah.
to put in some laws, like, and all
But
that.
that,
Yeah.
so the problem is, like, because with school, especially when you're a teenager or whatever, you're not really thinking about too much of the future. You know what I mean? You're just like, oh, getting stoned, going to school. Anyway, it's great. It's good buzz
Yeah,
there. You know what I mean? It makes it all grand. But there is that danger then, because I think weed, it's great for just making you feel okay with being bored. Like, I spent most of my, let's say 18 to 22, 23, just like smoking weed in sheds, you know what I mean? Like with other lads, like
Buzz.
yeah, it was some buzz, you know what I mean? But it's
Yeah.
just, and like I think everything that's come before has shaped me into this person now. So I'm happy that everything went that way. But you just think, Jesus, how much time did we just waste sitting around getting wasted? Do you know what I mean?
You're the
Oh,
creature
sure.
of habit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a freaking creature at heart,
But, you
like,
know,
yeah.
we're all creatures. I thought you said
creatures
that
of
already.
habit.
Freaking creature at heart, like that's.
Telling me now, man. We all have it in us.
Yeah.
But we all kind of did the same shit as well, man.
That's the
like,
thing.
Everyone was young at some
everyone was
point, yeah.
smoking that weed in the shed. No fucking bothers, man. But
Yeah.
like,
Carlos has said they've seen a spider the size of my hand one day crawling up the wall, and that's not a cool thing to see when you're high.
Oh,
You're like,
man.
whoa, that thing is freaking me
Especially when
out.
it's not there. It's like, Carlos, you seen that?
He's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Nah, like it was fucking literally about the size of my hand on his wall. Carlos is terrified of spiders. He's like
Jesus.
legging it out, I was just looking at it like, whoa. Like, see the hairs on it and all, like, it was horrible looking.
But it's
Horrible.
interesting because you managed then. Did you manage this? Like, so after you did music together in school, you met up. You were helping him a bit in school with the music, and then what
well,
happened?
yeah, like I wasn't.
You took him under your wing.
Yeah, I wasn't like
You made
that.
him the man he is today.
Ah, I did it.
He's my son. He's my son. I'm raising him well.
down there.
I'm your dad. I'm your dad.
yeah.
I'm your dad.
It's always
I love you, son.
We'll be right back after these messages.
I didn't take him under my wing, right?
Yeah.
I took him under my little wing.
Oh, look at this. Look at this.
Because we
Jimi
bonded.
Hendrix reference there, like.
Oh, yeah.
Show him the tattoo, please.
Yeah,
'cause
have it, yeah.
All
like.
right, slowly start undressing. And
I got to know him because I found out he liked Jimi Hendrix, you know what I mean? And that's what kicked it all off.
Yeah, so like, have a bit of Hendrix here, like, you know what I mean?
Oh
Like,
yeah.
Jimi Hendrix.
Sure, the camera will pick up that nice one.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah.
zoom in on it.
Zoom in and flip it because the guitar's the wrong
Oh,
way.
interesting, yeah.
But that was all to do with it as well, like that same time when I was smoking the weed. Like,
You got it when you were really stoned.
Yeah, like when I got
Like a
caught
drunk
with that.
tattoo. You'll be alright with it?
Yeah, I think, yeah. Yeah, I'm alright, yeah.
You're just shaking it.
Okay.
I don't want to fall. No!
Are you
Last
okay?
night is coming to get him now.
He's got the spinning from.
Should have shown that tattoo. What I mean is, so then the partnership of the Creatures of Habit. When did you decide like you were going to pursue rap, or as under Creatures of Habit even, or did that just come a long time after school, or did that come soon
Well,
after?
our partnership started when Savage got on his knees and he goes, "Will you be my daddy?"
We already had the father reveal.
Half true, like.
Yeah,
It's really hard, true, and I said yes, and it's been a
No, it was
fucking.
like we went on.
It's
like,
been
we
a
went on
rocky
a date.
relationship for ever since.
Where was that Debs? Where was that Debs?
The Debs was, I think, somewhere in Westmeath.
Yeah, so like this is when we realised that like this guy, like we were always playing through music and all, but this is when I realised he is just as fucking mental as me. Like.
Yeah.
So like we were at this Debs, like we're walking down the road trying to find an ATM in the middle of nowhere. We don't know where was it, Nice? I don't know.
No, I think it was like Westmeath or something, man. Because we went there for the pre-Debs as well. It wasn't even our Debs. We went ex-girlfriends the year below. And we'll get into that.
But we're walking down the road and we're like, I own this town! This is my town! Like me and you just running around this town.
We have to be honest about it, right? Yeah. So we're out of our fucking heads.
Yeah.
And we were going down. We were going down to an ATM to get money for a coke. We were both going around. This is around the Conor McGregor time, so we're going around in suits, think we're fucking animals, right? Yeah. But that's not how we bonded. We just remember that laugh. Yeah. It was. You're gonna have to tell this part yourself because like.
He's gonna get too emotional
in the Debs, like, you know what I mean?
Debs, my ex girlfriend who I have a child with, she was pregnant at like going to that Debs, like. So like we were in a limo like on the way out, and all like I was having a few drinks, she wasn't drinking, obviously, like. Got out there like and she was fucking bursting for the piss and we're trying to go in through the door like and their mum was like no you have to wait like and I'm like mate, she's fucking pregnant like she needs to go to the toilet like she's going to do there
this is how it's happening.
If you want to fight about that you know what I mean and like she's going that toilet
he's saying that a lot more calm than it was.
I
know. Fuckers, he's screaming in their face. And they stood the fuck back. And essentially they let her go pee and so look we were waiting in line. Fair is fair, but like
I ended up going like as well, like cause there was like the room where all the students were in, right? But there was like a smaller bar just to the right of it, and everyone else went in there. But I went into like it was like the function where everyone else was, right? Yeah. And I was like, "What's the Guinness like here?" He's like, "To be honest, man, you better off going into the bar, yeah." I wasn't even supposed to be allowed in that part. I just walked out. I was like, "Look, I just want to go point the Guinness, pal." You know what I mean? They were like, "All right, go on." Then. Fair enough. This man wants to go Guinness.
Wasn't his way in, like.
So then I was sitting there with all the teachers having the crack, like, you know what I mean? Like, they're all fucking inside. I was like, "What's up, man?"
VIP access.
VIP access. So I just strolled in with the teachers.
That's hilarious. You worked your way up.
Yeah, like that was like it was the year after I left school as well, so I hadn't seen them all like in like over like a year. So I'm just sitting there like catching up with them all as well.
Interesting.
Like I had a good relationship with a lot of the teachers as well. Like there was some of them I didn't get along with, obviously, but like I did have some good relationships with teachers that went out of their way to do a lot for me as well.
Brilliant.
Miss Conroy would be one, like
she was our music teacher. She was out there.
Like she stopped me kicking through a window and then I was saying it like she was and I was like I was very angry like when I was younger, like so.
She convinced us to go and do the singing lessons. So we had like a block class, like an extracurricular block class, you know, like where you could take as fucking in lieu of whatever class.
In school, the singing lessons.
So the school paid for like a private teacher to come in and coach.
No
what was her name? Sarah, wasn't it?
Sarah,
yeah.
Oh, that's all you remember, isn't it? I don't want to say anything because
a serious whole lot of knowledge for music.
Yeah, I learned a whole lot of
passion for teaching.
Teenage boy, all time you remember. Like she was so shapely, you know.
Yeah. Oh no, she was. Yeah.
Anyway, let's keep it clean.
He's the pervert of the group. What do you mean?
Don't get
let's not incriminate yourselves. He's the one taking off his clothes in fairness, you know what I mean?
Yeah, look, the clothes are never going to stay on. Let's be honest. You'll be flexing down the
He'll be judging.
I already know who's going to fucking win.
Shut up.
Me.
Right.
So then, with the singing lessons in school, what like did you get much value out of that?
Yeah, we got to fucking miss maths class like every week. Honest to God. That's the only reason why we did it initially, like.
Yeah.
Because she kept telling us we're like, no, and also she said you have to pay for every class. We never paid for it.
No, never.
She made sure it was written off just for the fact that she saw something in us. Albeit we were just like, don't want to go into maths now.
How did you feel about singing in...
We didn't give a fuck.
You didn't care. You just sang. That's brilliant.
Yeah, I was singing all the time, man. I read people's head. Like, I'm one of them cunts that just walk down the job
that's
singing.
Brilliant though, yeah. Because that's like, I think I had the opposite where I sang in choir and stuff and then I got real shy about singing, let's say. And then I feel weird about singing in front of people, you know what I mean? And then it was only years later I had to kind of untrain that part of me, you know what I mean? So it was cool to see that you have just had that confidence for music, that confidence of singing from an early age, I guess. And then after the school, after all this stuff, so after your debs, let's say, that's when you realised this lad's a mad fucker, I'm a mad fucker. Let's make love.
When we talk some real shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
If only we're all mad cunts.
We
but
both got along real well.
We got
as well
along
before
like
that,
on a
but
level.
that's when we
Yeah.
proper had like that.
We had a
full
heart-to-heart
Yeah,
fucking...
that
Oh,
night
you
is
know what I
brother
mean?
forever now.
Yeah, that's it.
I know we were saying we were going out and we were fucking on coke and shit like that, you know what I mean? That was, we were fucking kids, you know what I mean? Having a bit of fun. But actually, all things aside, it was a very fucking, like very bonding fucking moment.
Oh, it was a
for us.
fulfilling moment.
Yeah,
it was,
yeah.
definitely. We had a nice little heart-to-heart. And,
Yeah.
We used to both look back to that with that fondness of.
Oh, well, I remember this. I own this town, bro. Running up, people just going, who the fuck are these animals? Us just legging it down the road in suits.
Where's that ATM?
We own this town. People just looking at us like, we didn't even know the name of the place.
But that's brilliant. So it's so funny because you've been together for so long. Then, like your origin story goes back further than stop that. You want to make me emotional.
Together so long.
Yeah. Never leaving. But hold on, now we need to get into the other. We haven't even got to the origin story of Creatures of Habit, I suppose.
Yeah, no, we keep.
So we're getting closer though. We're
getting
moving down the pipeline. I just think this is brilliant. And then when did you start making music after school or after that moment of the debs? Like when did music come back
Years
in?
later.
Yeah. Interesting.
A fair few years later, like.
What happened there?
We just
Life.
We were just.
But what happened? So obviously life happens. You're both doing your own thing. What brought you back? Like what was it like?
We always kept in contact.
Okay,
like, through
yeah.
messaging or whatever. I said I was only after having Kelsey, so I was like sitting at home a lot, like and working. Like I wasn't actually like really out or anything as such. Like so, like it was a while then. Like eventually, then like when I could actually go back out the odd time, like when I was
When he's allowed.
Yeah. That's when we started linking up again, basically. Like
Interesting.
And then, we'd always meet up like either in my house or my nanny's kitchen. And we'd set up like a mic or whatever, like, and we just sit there, like, he produces, like, so we'd be just like sitting there
Just
making up
messing
some
around.
beats and messing
Just
about.
like, do you want to come around and
We'll
just mess around with the music?
pick up a guitar,
the
like,
shit we did
whatever.
now with that limited setup in a council gaff kitchen with mad echo is squeaky door.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
it's
all.
Squeaky
No, that's all.
That's so funny.
That door is a fucking sample, man.
Yeah.
No, his granddad coming in for the cup of tea and he goes,
On time,
every time, like.
Yeah.
These shit just like someone dropping a fucking fork into the sink, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It would always come in at the right moment,
That's
like.
brilliant. The realism.
It's just
captured.
like-
It was
We
picking
did-
up on all their sounds
Yeah,
around
yeah,
me. We just
yeah.
sitting there, just mics up, headphones on, like, I'm talking about fingering boards, my granddad's making coffee.
And I'm fingering her so hard that she's
And he's just sitting there like
looking at
that.
me, what's going on?
and I'm getting another finger in and
I swear, it got like that. I had to have a conversation with him one day. I was like, man, you need to stop. Your grandmother is in the sitting room. And you're gonna bang her up the gate, gonna bang her up the hole.
one more take.
Yeah, like going about five. I have this one. This is the one.
Sorry, I need the gee.
But we never considered making music in school though. It was only years
yeah,
later we
years
actually.
later.
So
that
we
makes
both.
sense.
I wrote
Like,
a few songs on guitar, like, when I was in school,
Oh,
like, just fucking
interesting.
about, like, I thought it was, like, legit putting them up on Facebook
finger
and all.
bang bang you into my life.
Wasn't far off.
No, I used to write depressing love songs.
Oh, yeah,
I was
yeah.
on that
Yeah,
level,
good though.
depressing
Good
love songs.
fucking tunes out of
Yeah,
this,
yeah.
man.
Well, I imagine. I think your songs are great. But anyway, what I've heard
Me
so
and they make
far.
funk and all as well sometimes. Like,
Oh, brilliant! Do you sing much? Like I know he's rap. I've only heard you rap.
Like, yeah.
As well, if it requires it.
Yeah, like we've sat down and whatever we make when we sit down can be anything. Like
We always
Oh,
sing.
okay.
We always have a hook kind of going in a way.
Yeah,
like,
have a
do you
whole.
know what I mean?
Yeah. That's like the like.
Yeah.
Oh, this is like I think what I've learned. So I'm listening to Rick Rubin's book called The Creative Act, and it's just kind of it's opened my mind to because it's real meta because I've been recording this album, I've been creating and writing for many years, and then he's kind of describing this whole way of looking at the creative work. So let's say we use every one of us that is creating. We're basically showing the world how we see things. Let's say, and what gives me energy isn't going to be the same thing that gives you energy. So let's say the hooks that use are like, oh yeah, this is a good hook. That's what pulls that's pulling you into the future. There's something in it that feels energizing to you. And like, when I feel like when I have a good line, let's say, or a good melody, the song kind of writes. It's like I want to finish it because it's like it's enjoyable. Like actually, we recorded a little mess recording at one of the circle sessions.
Yeah.
It's keep making that money, keep
Holy
making that
shit.
money. I've turned that into a song. I'm actually real happy, except I changed it. So
Right.
it's like, it's gonna be funny.
Doesn't matter.
I know,
You
yeah,
had
I know.
the fucking-
I had
you
the
had the-
melody.
yeah.
But for
That's
me,
it.
I was like, I can't make it about money. So now it's about friendship and funny. Like, so.
Nice, you flipped it.
But I flipped it.
Yeah.
But when I was going through, because after I finished this, I was like, I can't wait to get back writing now. So I was going back through all my old audio meshes. And that one just stuck out to me. It's like, that is actually it is a good melody.
Yeah,
And we go,
rhythm off it,
funny.
yeah.
And but that then, I was delighted then to pull me in. But so what I've realised is, it's about being honest to that feeling, let's say. Honest to that, whatever's giving you energy. And then no matter what you create, it'll be so unique and it'll be how you see it. Like, and that's the point. You're not supposed to be like, oh, I want to show people this thing, or I want to show people that. The way you kind of create in an honest way will always kind of produce work that can never be, if you're real honest to it, it's hard for me to express this, but it'll always be unique, and yous are the only ones that could do it. If yous are really true to the process and yous aren't thinking, we need to make it sound a bit more like this. Because I think it's so weird. Sometimes I hear music and I'm like, they're trying to sound like something, or like there's something there and we all have influences that we're not aware of, let's say. Yeah. But I
They're
think
leaning on a crutch.
they're not trying, like, you might.
They can count on that formula, that
yeah.
chord progression, that cadence, that might be in a billion songs, but like, I'm just going to do that because people recognize me.
Yeah, or something. But they don't even think that. They're afraid to be truly honest, I think, to what they feel, maybe, perhaps. I don't know. But it's cool the way you just described. You just sit down and you could create whatever the energy's pulling in.
Yeah,
We don't give a fuck.
No, like, it's not like we sit down to make a rap or we sit down to make fun. We sit down and
You sit down.
We do that. We walk
Lennon
up
and
the
McCartney,
road.
like.
we start battering each other for a few minutes, give a bit of life going. You know,
That's the process.
Yeah,
It's great process.
getting warmed up in a way.
No,
No,
like-
because that's how Creatures of Habit started.
Yeah.
So we had all this made beats in the kitchen. What we used to also do, especially around COVID times, when people weren't doing fuck all, gonna out myself here as well.
Yes.
So we went out, we used to go out on walks, drink a lot of fucking alcohol,
Yes.
and then enter like a tunnel down underneath the M50, and we started just literally killing each other and fucking just freestyle rapping.
Lads, this feels like a little documentary. I love, like, that seems like a
we
music
call it
video.
tunnel vision because we're
Oh, like that's what we wanted. That's where we have an idea.
Go
to
back to that
down
tunnel.
to the side
Yeah,
sort of thing.
Lads.
All the graffiti and all, like.
Yeah.
Every day we used to walk, doing the same fucking walk up the road, right? Up the walk of the road to the same place, like literally probably 5 days a week, man.
Yes.
Probably.
That's brilliant.
And we used to always walk up the road going, fuck lads, my Creatures of Habit.
Yeah, like just get
Creatures
to
of
it.
Habit.
Every
Judge
time because we've done it so often,
We're
like
just
fucking Creatures of Habit.
We're just
like,
Creatures of Habit, you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
we knew we were like doing nothing with our lives, but we flipped it back on itself.
Yes. And
Because when we started working more together, we were going to fucking Carlos's. It was me, Savage, Carlos, and Dilgy, as opposed to me and him in the
Yes.
kitchen. We were able to introduce different elements in production from Carlos, obviously, and from Dilgy's rapping.
Yeah, he can
And
sing as well.
eventually him
Okay.
convincing me to fucking start rapping. Because I never
Interesting.
did rap before, you know what I mean? That's the
Okay.
first time I've ever really bothered me ass down.
See, I always wrote, but like I wasn't like when I first started rapping, I was still rapping in an American accent, and it's just a thing. Everyone does it, like. You know
it's
what I
like
mean?
if you ever hear Dutch people, or no, the Danish, they speak with American accents because they listen to the American TV.
Yeah.
It's so trippy. But anyway, so keep going.
Yeah, so like Dylan, like he'd always rap in a Dublin accent, Dilgy, like
Yeah,
And, like, he always sounded much better than me because of that, because I was not down.
Yeah, you have to own that bit, you know what
yeah,
I mean?
like, and that's what, like, I got a lot of influence on how to speak proper Dublin through listening to him down there. Like, he's like, no, bro,
brilliant.
it was just like, it was just like,
Yeah.
He doesn't write it and Dilgy does.
No, it's just freestyle. Like, all
Everything he
freestyle,
says
yeah.
is just off the top of his head constantly. You'll
I
never
was with
write
him
it
last
down.
night. He was gonna come down, but like I think like
What?
yeah,
That's the,
He's
is it like I find I'm trying to improve my improv actually because I'm getting the next evolution for me. So I used to stream years ago on Facebook before, but I didn't have good internet. I didn't have a good camera. I didn't have a good setup. Now I have a cool setup in my room, And so my plan is to get back into the stream because I like improv. Like, let's say someone comes in, they say something, and then I try to be funny, and then I'm really interested in kind of just exploring that more because there's something about improv, like your man who was on my podcast there, John Doe. That's all he does. He kind of does improv meanderings, and there's something about it. I think it's real liberating because if you're gonna write something, let's say, and record something, like, you know, you work on the sentence for ages and you're fucking tripping out. But if it's in the moment, you just let it go in a way. So I like that. But
it's good for studio environments as well. Sometimes they just let go and come up with some of your best content. Then
that's the thing. If you just
like,
go with
it,
it,
something too much almost sometimes. It becomes like robotic nearly. Like
100%.
Like you're more like in that free flow. Like it's gonna sound much better as well.
Yes, and just I want to get back to so because you were feeling like, oh, we're fucking not doing anything. So that's like. Like that's what I was thinking back when I was smoking weed. Like, felt like, oh, what? Like when I look back at that time, and I'm even during that time, I was thinking, what was I at? But there's this concept, like it's not really so. The people that we are, right? We were always gonna, let's say, get pulled into certain things. Like we're gonna have to burn through, let's say, that bit of like laziness or unmotivation or like that weed smoking, like that was in me that I needed to burn through, let's say. And then when I'm finished with it, I can be like, oh, so that part for you where you're like going and feeling like you're doing that, he's burned through that, you know what I mean? But you are always gonna do that in a way, you know what I mean? And that's what's part of the story. Yeah.
There's a way of doing it. Like, so Creatures of Habit, we used to call each other that years ago. Yeah. Then when we met up, we were making music and we were trying to come up with a fucking name. We never called, we were killing each other.
Yeah,
there was
we nearly broke up before we even got started.
Because we couldn't come up with
name's the hardest thing.
Like, there was so much arguing over that.
For weeks.
Yeah,
weeks we were killing each other. We'd actually recorded lots of songs, released one, everyone's loving it. We're like, what do we call ourselves?
Yeah,
and we were killing each other.
You need that.
But then I just hit them up one day and said, Creatures of Habit.
It was actually me, not you. I came with that. That was me.
Listen, after coming up with a great name,
Right, whoever can prove that right gets 50 quid, yeah? Shaking that now.
How can you prove it?
I will find
How
a way.
can you prove
I want 50 quid off you shaking it.
No,
honest to God, I'm doubling down.
Stop pulling me chair across, isn't it? Fuck's sake, I'm going to get slapped up on the Basil Breen podcast.
You only said that selber, bro, come on.
You Basil Breen, bro. You're spinning me out, man.
You fragile.
If I get involved, they're probably going to team up on me. Like, what are you doing, bro? What are you doing, bro?
That's our special move.
Yeah. You can hit each other, but then... the Dudley boys, that was a 3D. But anyway, you fucking trying to derail me with your. So basically, one of you came up with the name, and we'll figure that out.
We
all did. But
the thing is, like,
the realization,
if
man.
he had said no, we're not doing that, then you couldn't be called that. You know what I mean?
Like, no, it was set in stone.
Yeah,
once it was set,
that's what I mean. But what I mean is,
everyone was like,
yeah. In a team, right? So both of you were trying to come up with names, probably trying this. It's like, no, I don't feel that. Because I've been there before.
Oh, terrible shit.
4 people, it's hard, right? I was trying to do it with 4 at one point, and then even with business stuff, it's so. That's why I hate all that. This is why I'm really interested in the fact that you have a partnership, and I'm delighted to hear just that part of the story, coming up with the name, and like, let's say, deciding on a logo, deciding on all this stuff. It's hard to do. The more people you add, you know what I mean? Do you ever try to organise? Like, even like if you're on holidays or if you're anywhere, it's easier to get, like, let's say, you could decide, oh, we go down the street, whatever. But if there's 5 of you, it's like, what we do? What we do? And it's like, I don't want to do that. I don't. Someone, and it's just like, you know what I mean?
I've seen the Jungle Book.
Jungle Book?
Yeah, I think it's a jungle. Is it the Jungle Book? It's like, I don't know, what do you want to do?
Yeah.
Let's do something.
That's it. Yeah, it's just like, let's do something. No one else to take the initiative. But
is that the Jungle Book?
I don't know. It works for us, right? Because we all just do what the fuck we want individually.
Yes.
Like, we're a collaborator. We're like, partnership is more like Wu-Tang.
Okay.
It is a fucking group we both have, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it doesn't have any...
Yeah. Like, these are still individuals, but that's its own little entity in a way.
Yeah, so we just have fucking fun with it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the way to see it.
That's like the mental side of it.
It's our empty canvas to work with. You know what I mean?
That's a brilliant way to describe it.
Yeah,
because if you get too bogged down, that's where the kind of pain will come from. If it's like, you want it to be a particular thing, you want it to be a particular thing, if he wanted to be a particular thing, then that will cause the friction. But if you're more just like, this is, once you have the name, I suppose, everything after that is like a bonus. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because then you can move on. But I think it's hard. It is actually hard because both of these have to feel like you have to put your. Because you have to feel that kind of represents it. But I think Grease of Habit's a brilliant name, if I'm being honest, anyway, from my perspective.
It was just,
Thank
it was
you.
serendipitous. It was serendipitous. We used to always say it, and we just found that there's no way it's anything fucking else.
Yeah, it's the only it describes us so well.
Yeah.
It's just like that's who we are.
But you know,
yeah.
it describes what we're talking about as well. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, we're talking about the expression towards fucking studio work and all that.
Yes.
Put the fucking truth you give into your art.
Yes.
Listen.
Even just flowing around the album, so I'm like literally out in town nearly every day of the week. I'm always
Yeah.
early every day of the week.
Grind.
It's a habit.
Yeah.
It's a habit.
It's creatures of habit, yes.
So the work
Just
you
the
put
habits
in,
change, but you're still a
Yeah.
creature throughout. Like
Yes.
and whatever you do with your habitual fucking, your habitual will show you.
Exactly.
What the fuck
You're a
you're doing.
product of your habits.
Yeah.
Eventually.
And the rituals you can make out of some of the shit like smoking weed.
Yes.
If you're gonna, remember you were saying like inevitably you're gonna fucking end up smoke.
Yes.
If you look at it from that perspective, like I'm gonna crash and burn, and I'm gonna end up doing that instead of doing my habits. Establish your habits and give yourself a ritual.
Yes. You can create if you realize that your habits are within your power to change. Like sometimes, one thing I've been trying to change is the whisper bites. Used to be you get on this like I used to get in my car, get a little pack of whisper bites, get a pack of popcorn, get a fizzy drink. And I have a little loop that I drive, and I'm like, yum, 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 eating, right? So I started, like, just like, you want to check lads, the things like, the multitasking I do when I'm eating food.
Straight.
But, so then what I've done is I've started replacing it with them the blue protein bars that I was talking about, you know what I mean? But now, like, I used to be one of them. Now I'm doubling up on it, and now I get a nice pint of milk. So now it's milk and that thing.
Right.
So I think I've moved, like, I've changed, I swapped things in for the other habit. But now I need to think, okay, how can I do another swap? You know what I mean?
Swap the milk for water and practice your singing in the car.
I do practice singing in the car, but
Don't do it with
I love
milk.
milk.
Don't do it
I
with
love
milk.
milk.
You'll
It's so
fuck
nice,
yourself.
man.
milk.
You'll fuck milk. You'll fucking. Shut up! You just talk about cocaine
yourself,
and fucking drugs.
Milk
It's
is
like,
too far.
hey, listen, lad.
Come on.
You need to sort that milk thing out.
Basil, I'm worried about you.
Yeah.
Your t-shirt is white as well, man. I'm starting to see shit, bro. Are you okay? Do you need to
Milk.
talk
I'm just
about
staying in milk all the time. Basil, you're right. Like you're on the milk again, are you?
This
Like,
is just clear milk.
you're not on the milk again. So right, so during that then period during COVID, you were down under the tunnel, doing a little bit of
Trolling.
It's great. So what does it look like when you two are? Because this is the part for me. I've never really collaborated musically with somebody in a way that was constructive. Like so, you have produced songs together. So you have a good like. What would it be like? You'd be it's like I have this little hook that I'm working with, and you'd be like, I'm working on this hook, and I think it's gonna be good. And then you might have, and you'd be like, and then how do you bounce? Like what's this?
It's hard to
It's hard to describe it. Yeah.
Basically, I will have a laptop out.
Yeah.
Open up a brand new project, fresh.
Ah, yes, not like a fresh project.
fresh,
Yeah.
Start building something for about 40 minutes to an
Like
hour.
a little beat or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Play it.
Really put your heart and soul in.
Heart and soul into it. Play it.
and then
Then delete it.
Get rid of that.
Okay, yeah.
Like, that's gone. That's gone.
He's
And then-
vibing to his like, yeah, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I hear something I don't like,
No, gone. Delete it.
And what, is that just like cleaning
that
out
beat was
the
actually
pipes?
alright. And he's like, it's gone.
it's gone.
It's gone.
And then what's that? What?
Brand new project.
Brand new
Let's start again.
Okay, so the
Yeah.
first one's like cleaning out the pipes.
No, we just.
Or it just
complete that
happens.
process.
Until it's perfect.
Or until you find the one that
Yeah.
you're both happy with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then once you have the beat, then everything flowers from that.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
that what you're saying?
Pretty much like, yeah.
Okay, so it starts
We
with
build a beat with the fucking with the song.
interesting.
There's no point. Look, I get a lot of rappers. You know, they'll buy a beat off producer,
Yeah,
which is perfectly fine. Though.
yeah.
But our approach, if we're gonna create together, do it
Yes.
from the fucking start.
Yeah, well, you have some people just don't have the ability to have a producer. So I think people need to get started in whatever form they can. But it's brilliant that you can do a bit more. You know
Yeah, but
what
I
I
call
mean?
myself a producer. I didn't go to college. I just
Yeah,
know how to use
yeah.
Ableton, now to plug fucking gear in.
Yeah, I know,
record,
yeah.
Do a bit of fucking mixing. I'm not like Mark Ronson. do you
No,
know what I mean?
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
still a fucking cunt from
It's
Tala.
all just. I think it's so. I was talking to one lad about this before. Flute Loops. He was a real good busker. He was at the Busking World Championships. He does he does all these looping basically.
Yeah.
But I was talking about music production, and I was getting because I was getting into it a while ago, and he was just like, I was getting too bogged down in stupid little things like it doesn't that. And he was basically describing how it's just all these YouTube videos and all. It's all the snake oil, right? Because basically, you have an audio signal. There's only so many things you can do to an audio signal. Let's say, right? The most important things, let's say, capturing a good recording. Let's say that's good. You need to be able to do that. But everything else, like when I was programming, when I started off, I used to get bogged down in creating folders, let's say. So like if I'm starting a new project, a new website, I need the proper folder structure before I even get started. Instead of just opening up a file and writing the fucking code, I'd be getting bogged down in things that aren't important to the whole craft. So
just ADHD.
Exactly. No, but it's
that's the kind of
that's what it is. That's what it is.
That's what it is. 100%.
And that's with the music production. What blocks me is like I'll get a loop, let's say an 8-bar, 16-bar loop, and I'll be going with it, and then I'm like, I've recorded like live recordings, but I haven't. I'd love to be like, I have good, let's say, software instruments now. I'd love to be able to create the next step for me. I'd love to be able to produce a whole song, like all the instrumentation, like yeah.
Have you been looking into it? Like
I know MIDI. I know I've like Contact. I've like but latest like Complete from Native Instruments. So I've good software instruments. I've good I have this little loop station as well. So I've been practicing breaking up. Like, what are the fundamentals of a song? Like, you have the drums, you have the bass, you have like chords, you have pads of chords, and then a vocal on top, right? But then so you have there's foundational elements, but then it's like, how do you keep things in? I think the only way to do it is to do it. Let's say instead of getting worried about. The question is always, what do I do next? But you can just answer that when the time is right. I think I get bogged down in thinking of. I'm at the bottom of the mountain of the song. Yeah. And I'm just like, I don't, because I've never finished one before or whatever.
Don't
so
know
I'm
where
like,
to go.
I feel like I get that paralyzed me in a way.
Walk away, step away. You could be this close to a mountain, right? It looks huge. If you walk back and look at it from a distance, it can look small.
Oh, interesting.
Take a step away from it for a minute.
This lad!
Tell you now.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
That's what it is. When you're mixing music, when you're mixing music, you have to look at it.
Please.
Your foreground, background. You know what's in the background. You have to be looking at it like it's a photograph or a painting.
Yes.
The audio space the exact same. You're too embedded in it, and you're actually fucking physically looking up at the mountain. Like this concept you're building, both like spiritually and literally when you're mixing. You do need to take a fucking step back from it.
Yes, to be like, all right, hold on a minute.
Literally get up, walk around, listen to it, walk around what you're fucking working on.
And what do I want to do now? And then sometimes...
Where'd you hear it from? You know, go in and play it, go in and take a shit. And look, what's it sound like when you're taking a shit? Just do everyday things when you're listening to stuff.
Do you ever get fucking shit in the sample? No, let's not go there. I want to go back.
Whenever he starts rapping, like, it's usually quite shit. Then he gets into it.
Don't be fired
Then he gets into it.
That's the bloke that can't even keep up me writing. Oh, man.
Shots fired.
You can produce the next tune then.
Shut your mouth, boys.
That's what we walk around together.
No, you need that. You know, I love this. So when you're producing your beat, what's your first port of call? Let's say, do you go for drums first, or like what are you thinking?
No, sometimes like it'll be like I could find like a mad sample of a synthesizer and start chopping up, throwing gates on it, and creating a rhythm structure with
the
samples and sounds and shit like that, just to give it an obscure fucking element.
Cool,
like. Yeah, and then like because drums are very limited. Drums are very limited in hip hop because you can follow the fucking. It can be a slave to the beat. It can have no beat. And you can have your own rhythm, your own cadence. You can be totally free.
Oh, interesting.
So we find our own style in the fucking song first, then throw in the drums. Because whenever we do, unless it's a fat, meaty drum, we've already kind of worked out lyrics and stuff like that. You know, it's better.
You become a slave to the drums. That's so interesting. Instead of
you have to hold to that rhythm.
We are the rhythm.
You put the drums. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the drums come after. They sit on top of your rhythm. Yeah, not the other way around.
You have your click. Don't start with the drums, like especially if you're making shit. The drums are good if you're going for a rocky song, not maybe. Yeah. But like, leave the drums a little bit fucking.
Something like.
Something
poppy.
You know, but if we're producing, you'd have to go. What's the fucking vibe?
Yes.
There's one time, right?
Yeah, well, that's if you have a song in your mind already.
Well, she just happens. We were walking up the road one day smoking a joint through Ballycrow, right? I'm so sorry. Oh my god.
Whoa.
Oh my god.
Right.
Technical difficulties.
Technical difficulties.
Someone
Can
just
edit that bit out.
Right, you broke it.
We can edit
That's
that bit
fucking
out.
$5,000.
continuity.
Now you're grand. Relax. Now, these things are like shroom tags.
Right.
Good joke.
We were walking by smoking
No,
a
you're
joint.
grand. You're grand.
There was a green
Relax. No, honestly, you're fucking grand.
there was a green electric box making the most fucking weirdest ass sound I've ever heard in my life. Yeah,
Literally.
how do you know this sound?
I've seen
you
me
hear
fair
this?
share green
Did you hear
boxes.
this?
This is known.
Yes.
Right.
Anyway, I didn't mean to derail you.
No, because that's interesting. So you have one of those up around here.
Well, I know there's green. Like, yeah, that there's a
Sometimes
common.
it be letting off fucking out like sound like yeah. No,
Yeah.
this thing was fucking demented.
the wall.
Howling this thing was like the noise man.
Anyway, like we were bait out with this.
That explains everything.
We were like, what the fuck is that noise?
This thing's fucking howling.
Yeah, but the noise.
Do you hear that?
I've never heard a box make this noise though. That's what I
He
said.
knows a box.
I've seen a few boxes in my life.
got a few
And I made
boxes,
a few of them
man.
howling.
Anyway, get back to the green box.
I'm
Buska Glass.
Buska Glass. We made a tune called On Buska Glass because like it was the green
Buska
box.
Glass.
Yeah, we recorded
Legendary.
it on a fucking on my iPhone, just the sound of the fucking thing, and we were smoking a joint, laughing.
Yeah,
Like a drone.
Yeah, and I was working on a,
So you got the laugh in as well.
yeah, and I was working on a beat earlier that day, and I had it was like this mad fucking Immortal Technique type beat, bit of shady kind of element to it.
Yeah, it's off like Oasis at the start.
Yeah,
and
weird
all,
shit, you know what I mean? And then I put the
Completely out.
fucking, more like Blur actually.
Yeah,
Anyways,
yeah,
I was
kind of
like,
all blow away.
well, I wanted to put that sample in that tune around the middle 8, and it just like
Yeah.
when I dragged and dropped it into the timeline on the fucking dot, it was exactly where it needed to be.
Shut up.
No,
Press
it just
play,
fell, yeah.
and it just comes in at this fucking moment that like the fucking.
And you
I
can just
can't
hear the
even-
laughing on the background with the noise of the
Ah,
box
that's what it's
on
all
it. and
about,
But it's
man.
fucking
Like a
demented,
grow.
like
Oh,
it's demented.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, well, we haven't even used the beat yet. We
Yeah,
sat
I
there
know,
writing
it's
the
still
fucking
happening,
thing.
yeah.
There's a few lyrics and all, but
what-
like.
What it's so interesting there. It's like there's just so the green box. You even said that to me, and even though we've grown up in different parts of the but in the same kind of country, same region. Let's say, I know what I got a vibe of what that meant. So
Yeah.
it's so funny how there's like a fundamental sort of spirit. Let's say in like the more localized of an area that you're in, and you are kind of tapping into that. Even with let's say like 7 a.m. and a mad one, like the cultural phenomenons that we can all relate to, even though we're not like. That's what's so interesting about the music that you're making is because, like hip hop, it's cool. I think anyway. Like that's how I can describe it. It's like you know what I mean. The young lads would be like, no, if you hear your stuff, they'd be like, oh, that's the cool stuff. You know what I mean? Versus. You know, not the non-cool stuff. If I could be, no way to describe it. And
We
then,
didn't do it for that though.
no, but that's all. But there's some. What
For
do
us,
I mean
We
by
just
cool?
relate to what we're spitting.
That's what
on.
I'm saying.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
Here's
cool
that-
is what this one I'm trying to encapsulate in my head now. Cool to me is basically because there's a what's the word? Like if something is if I look at something
It's
and
like a
familiar,
meme.
there's
It's like a meme.
It's for meme. It's meme. It's
Yeah,
like
It's
a
mimetic,
meme.
man. You know
It's
what I
a
mean?
mimetic.
You can
It's-
all fucking relate to it.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what it is. It's like a bit nostalgic in ways as well. So once you can relate to it, then you're like, oh yeah, that's like get that straight away without having to think too much about it. You know what I mean? And I think this stuff, like especially like 7 a.m. on a mad one, blah blah blah. It's
Do
just
it
so
then.
yeah. Oh yeah, and then we'll do it then.
Do it
I
then.
love that. You know how much I love
Me and
that.
Jimmy
one.
been sitting on that for a while.
Lads,
Belter.
I just think that is something that the whole like as a young lad growing up, the little fucking fights and all, and little groups of people, whatever. Well, do it then. You know what I mean? Do it then. Do it. You'll do nothing. You know what I mean? It's like.
We get one number. Yeah, do it then.
It's just brilliant. It's just like you think you're gonna do this. Well, do it then.
Yeah.
Do it then.
If you think about like us as artists, right? We rely on our impressions to make the expression.
Yes.
The green box is something we witnessed. It was a moment we fucking experienced.
Yes.
It made an impression on us. We were laughing our fucking heads off. It was so
Yeah.
weird. And that by its own fucking right, that
That pulls
we
through there.
take that energy and you give it back out kind of thing. You know?
Yes.
We're not like trying to.
You're not trying to do it. It's just like whatever's giving you energy. That's
we're
what I'm
not,
saying.
Yeah, we're not invoking things for the sake of cultural fucking
if we do a song about the green box, people will love it.
Yeah, sorry.
Although we could have said that when we were down, we're like, bro, this thing's gonna go number one.
You're listening to your energy. Sometimes when I'm writing songs, I'm like, if I think it's a good one, I'm like, oh, this is a good tune. I'm so happy that I'm writing this song now. And that's the feeling. But you are honest to that feeling of, oh, check out this fucking noise of the green box. We'll put this in a track. Oh, that's fucking brilliant. And then you went, and then you ended up doing it. So then with your production and stuff, because what's your process now of like what do you have recorded like online at the moment?
A load of shite.
At the moment,
Release, not much. Like,
Not much. A load of shite. Unfinished demos.
Yeah,
unfinished demos.
No,
No, do you know what? We'll do that at the end.
Yeah.
All right.
If I could get you to play a few chords, we'll perform
Oh
something.
yeah, you're pulling out. I'm not.
No, we'll do whatever you want.
Whatever I want, yeah, because it's my podcast.
We want to see who's the best collaborator for this song. We've done it a few times. Different artists.
Shut up! Don't be putting me under pressure.
just saying,
I'm not
don't
going to
fuck-
You won
Cowboys.
an award for the last night, actually.
Yeah,
the
we won an
Circles
award the other
Performance
night,
of the Year.
Oh,
Halloween,
shit.
the Pablo and the Foreigners. We done 7 a.m. and a mad one, and that song, after that as well, eh?
No
mad one.
way.
Halloween night, man, that was a fucking
I heard that was brilliant.
I woke up at 8 p.m. after taking a load of fucking Mandy after leaving work at 5 a.m. Got carried home, right? My dad woke up, right? My dad was like, I was driving down to the shops at like 6, 7 in the morning, and you were fucking being carried up the road by 2 L women.
Oh, shut up!
I was in a long jacket, shorts,
Shut up, man.
and a fucking Brazil jersey with the bastard written on the back of it.
The bastard.
Just waffling.
The only bastard.
Waffling the ears off 2 albums. As I fell asleep, woke up at 8, supposed to go into town to meet someone, to go out for a drink, meet daily after work, you know? For Halloween.
You were going to,
Yeah, I was just gonna go out for a few drinks and with fucking daily, and basically I ended up, I'm gonna meet you in the Inter. Didn't even know Savage was there.
Yeah.
Didn't even know he was there because we found I was literally
You
there.
just floating around.
Yeah, we just up at the right time.
I was there.
You were there.
My head was wrecked, right? I was sitting there like, oh, no, I'm not in the fucking mood to even go out and drink tonight. I'm only after waking up after a load of MD, my head's fucked. And he's like, oh, you're getting up on stage, man. You're getting up on stage, we're now bleeding shit there.
Yeah.
He was supposed to collaborate with Annie Peters that night, and he actually started to say, Annie, I'm so fucking sorry.
Jimmy the bastard was creators.
I'm sorry,
And I'm like, no, just do it with Annie, please, man.
No, it's
got the
creators,
head
it's
for this,
creators.
right? And we're like, what are we gonna do? And we're like, go back to back, and then only in the circles where we had this problem, we could never find our fucking beats to use, right? Sorry, I swear a lot.
I swear a lot, man. No,
I of course like a fucker.
Fuck.
So we finally found a back-to-back beat after like literally 40 minutes of killing each other.
Yeah.
Me saying it's not meant to be.
It's not meant to be.
We found it, right? We got up there and we were watching whoever was on before us.
Yeah.
Seamus gave us the nod. We were watching Pablo up there.
This is like the band, like the whole band was
And
there.
I was like, the Savage, you know what?
they were just, you're just saying, like, they were just playing with anybody that came over. It's not just brilliant.
And we had the
it was
beat
good,
ready.
yeah.
I was like, Savage, just go up and introduce us there, man.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, we're going to go with this band. I'll just tell them what to play. You just introduce us. And we went up
I left him, he knows the mechanics there. You know, you don't deal with any people. He saw that
just get them out. No, I still fucked. And I had to go to the
That's
gear.
a B minor on the number 7.
I went up to the keys. I was like, just so happened to hit the right note. It was all right. I was like, yeah, you just do that. I was like, fucking thank
See
God.
that there, yeah? Keep doing
Just
that.
keep hitting that thing in there.
Like
Good.
that, yeah?
And then like,
You, be that big fucking beat, just do that.
see that? Yeah. Just keep slapping it out. Drummer.
You shut your mouth over there, yeah?
Yeah, I was like, so you know what you're doing, man.
Yeah.
There's a saxophone.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it just ended up hitting it like perfectly.
One of the bars in it. One of the bars in the song as well is blow. What was it?
Blow me flute like you're blowing a sax.
Shut up.
He wrote that. He wrote that.
Name is send him down the river, man.
Like,
Finger banger.
He writes
you
most
ain't
of it.
gonna write it. Put it that way.
He writes most of the shit. Honestly, like. You know what I mean? I'll admit, I'm not ashamed like he is of not being able to produce.
Shut up, you fuck man. Yin and yang, you both need each other, so shut your mouths, right?
I need you right now, baby.
So well, basically, right. So that's what he's got performance of the year for.
Yeah.
I just would have thought, I was like, oh, because every time we're in
No, we didn't. It was us.
It's just
Pablo.
off the chain.
Pablo as well. Like they, they just as part of it. Like
that was a great fucking night, to be honest with you. They had
Yeah.
another one as well on the Friday in the International Downstairs. What do they call it? The embassy.
Oh, the embassy thing.
Yeah, the embassy. Yeah. That was like mad night as well. Like she was out for that one as well.
See, where do you live? Like, I know I make an excuse. I'm just like, I'm in Skerries, so sometimes I'm like,
It's a bit of a trek though for you.
I know, yeah. Like to get into town, it feels sometimes.
How long would it take you to drive? Like,
It takes about an hour in, so and then an hour. But getting back late and all, because I'm just, I don't know. It messes me up sometimes if I don't get good sleep, and then because I thought like. I'll go back to me whisper bites if I go get me sleep, you know what I mean?
and your milk.
There's so many things I'm trying to do, and it's like, but you need to be. That's what you need to be kind of. You need a bit of networking, because if I didn't start going to these open mics, we won't be sitting here right now. You know what I mean? So the networking thing is actually real important, not because, not for like networking because it's like Game of Thrones or whatever. It's because it's actually real inspiring to see and talk to other creatives. Like, so I've never around here. Let's say. I've no real friends or people that I've grown up with, like the way you have it with music your whole lives, let's say. I'm only kind of getting musical friends now, you know what I mean? Like as I'm pursuing it, and then being able to kind of discuss the creative arts and stuff, and then see other people's perspective on it. It's like, I didn't think about it that way. I didn't see it that way. So
you learn a lot.
There's so much from just getting exposing yourself out there to that. But I just want to get back then to in terms of recording your stuff right now. How's it going? Like, because you just have so many songs, lads.
We Control Alt Delete, and we're starting it all over again.
Yeah, we're going.
Start this podcast again.
We're finished.
We're done.
Get back,
I was gonna pull this table
It's just
out.
impulse on this country.
You've seen Happy Basil, haven't seen fucking.
Like, just let me just register that into your brain
and it's gone.
That's legit. I see you got some bars there, Savage. Pity, and it's gone.
You got some bars. We can mix that around, reverse it. We can make that the cut, and it's gone.
Yeah,
But anyway, but you have so many. You have so many songs, and
Conor McGregor,
you need to could be. You know what I mean? Yeah. But you need to. So for me, I've been working with a producer, and the good thing about working with someone else, like I was paying him, so that there's more incentive there for me to kind of try to get the most out of him, let's say. And then the other thing as well, it's just accountability, because he's like, I need these vocals by now, and he's working on it, and then like having deadlines actually helps so much, because I would even now I'm doing the last 3 songs, and I'm nearly finished editing the last vocal, but it's for Tuesday. But if it wasn't for me, like I was like, all right, we'll set Tuesday as the day, because I have to drive down to him in a tie, I think it is, whatever, and then that creates a whole pressure then in me. Like I wake up early and I'm like, I need to edit this vocal now.
Yeah.
So having that deadline, that pressure kind of has pushed me to basically get these 13 songs. I would have never, before this, I was just one song dripping out every couple of months, you know what I mean? And it wasn't even nearly as much work as what I'm doing now. So
big projects you're working on.
Yeah. It's
songs is a
but
lot,
it's gotta be brilliant.
Yeah,
like
I'm
just for
excited
me,
to hear that as well,
even just like I was thinking, because I put a lot of money into it as well, a lot of time. Like when I get this thing, I'm just gonna be driving around for a whole day, just listening to the album, like fucking just I enjoy the shit, because the other thing as well, I can enjoy the musical parts of it, because I didn't like your man created all the, let's say, the musical elements, and I provided the structure, the chords, the song, and then he kind of put his interpretation on it, so I can enjoy sometimes when you listen to your vocal, let's say, I get too bogged down in little things like that word or whatever, but when I'm listening to someone else's let's say guitar or whatever, I don't even pick up on their time, and if it's out of time, if I'm playing on the guitar, I'll notice every little time if it's a little bit out of time, just because I'm playing it.
It's because you know what you want it to sound like.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
What I think that's what it is. Actually, now that you mention that, I think it's when I'm listening to the vocal, I'm like, oh no, that's not how I want the word to sound.
Yeah.
I want it to sound. But what I found is you just have to put loads more time into it before you finish it. So keep going over the vocal, do different things in different stages, and then eventually you get to a place where, all right, there's no little things that are annoying you now because you went through all the takes and you kept stitching together. But anyway, don't get too bogged down with that. What I want to get down to is, what about your own projects? Like how are they going, and what are they looking like at the moment?
Well, he's working quite a bit. I work quite a bit with my daughter. We are working on things, but as I said, we had to control alt delete everything and go from scratch now as well.
From scratch. That wasn't even a joke. We're controlling
That's what I was thinking.
We're dead serious.
Yeah.
But we spend our time gigging as well. There was a time we would spend all of our time recording. No, you know, mainly fucking just messing about, then recording, and then we're performing. We need to go back into the fucking drawing board at this point.
I know.
But we're doing it from a fresh start.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the thing. But it's hard.
Properly as well, you know.
I know,
Because it's
from the ground
fun.
up,
It's
like,
fun
we know
and all.
what we want out of
The elements that we learned from performing.
Oh, it's huge.
Yeah, like say like a song that we didn't know if that would work in a like bonus song, like say 7 a.m. Like at the end there's like a mad rave.
Yes.
But like, that goes on a bit too long. But then
That's the
but
thing.
then like hang on a minute, like if you get the place going, that's not long enough. Like
That's the thing. It's so interesting. That's so funny because
It's party music, really. You wouldn't hear it on the fucking radio.
Yeah.
But you hear that at party.
radio.
So a live crowd needs to enjoy it from start to finish.
Yes, that's a good measurement. I think that's what I've learned from some of the old mics. I was playing some of the songs and I noticed, this has gone on too long. I can't do this. So then I ended up cutting bits out, and then the songs became better from the live performance. It's like stand up, you know what I mean? You're not that I've done one bit of stand up, but I
You're
haven't
sitting down at the moment. Like.
Yeah. Well, I can stand up as well. I can do it all. Like,
Basil Breen stand up podcast.
Stand up gentleman. But no, the point is that reacting to the crowd and then saying, okay, because it's not what you want to be able to enjoy performing it. That's also part of the singing. That's what I've realized now is that, and this is weird, right? So I only realized this actually today when I was thinking about it. So I was like, okay, let's say you want to make music, right? I don't even know if I want to like people to get something out of my music, right? What I actually like is like I like when I have a good song that I think is good. And I'm like, that's a good song. And if other people say it's good, I'm like, oh, that's brilliant. But what I need, if people enjoy it, that means I can get people on board to watch me perform it, right? So it's kind of weird, selfish. I'm not like, this is what I've realized. It's like, if I can get people, like the more credibility I can build up, the more I can enjoy performing and singing songs that I'm enjoying myself. You know what I mean? So it's coming at it from a different kind of perspective where, and it kind of, it's an uncomfortable kind of truth in a way, because it's like, okay, because, you know, you might hear people say, because I don't really have, it's not like, most of my songs are from a first person perspective, let's say. I'm giving my sort of existential view on a particular energy that I was feeling or whatever. I'm not, and if people get something out of it, they get something out of it. I think we all get something out of everyone's kind of music. But for me, it's like, it seems like it's actually more selfish than what I thought in a weird way, you know what I mean? But that's no, and I don't mind that. No, but I don't mind that.
It's your art.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, and it's my way of looking at the world. Yes, and that's actually, and then that gives me more credence or more pull to explore that music in a more honest way, just by knowing that's part of the end goal, to build up. Okay, so any success that I have means I can actually make more music and put more, because I'm learning piano now. I'd love to be a maestro at the piano.
I've always wanted to learn piano.
I know.
Like all I need is a piano and a bit of drums, and I would rap for days. Like
that's the thing, and you could do everything with a piano. You can basically play, especially with virtual instruments. You can play any instrument really. So and I am getting there with it. Like I'm not, like, you know, fucking Beethoven. I don't even know if he play piano. Give me some other famous.
Maybe I don't know.
But yeah. but yeah. So I think, because enjoying the music, like you're saying, like when you are performing like 7 a.m. on a mad one, it just seems like the whole place is up in arms, man, because you start getting into it as well. Like, what does it feel like? Does it feel, is it having a good time?
Oh, we just have a bit of crack.
Yeah.
We love it. Like,
that's the thing.
We go in to have fun.
Yes.
We're going to have fun. And we do
Like,
that
we
fucking
still like
song.
as well, like we don't half the time we don't know, like so like he loves my verses sometimes, like we bounce back and forth.
Yeah, we do. We'll fucking actually fuck with each other
Whatever the
live.
vibe, yeah, like we'll be proper piss each
So
other
it's
off, like and we
messing,
get
yeah.
so annoyed at each other, but not annoyed at each other. It's all
Yeah.
part of the act, is that everyone's
Interesting.
fucking engaged and
I
they're
do
like,
know what-
yeah, mad cousin, so like
That's what adds to it.
yeah, it's just adds to the atmosphere of it.
Like absolutely
Just messers in a way.
fucking making
Yeah.
each other bomb.
yeah,
Because what that does is get you out of the fucking bubble of being
Yes.
afraid. I'm also saying
Yeah.
I'm here
And
with
that's
you
how
as
you give a
well.
full
Yeah,
way,
yeah, exactly.
Because
You
we
guys
are-
are fuck.
That's it. It's kind of easier for us because both of us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
We're not on our own.
When
So
when
we've
I
a lot
perform on
more
my own, it's
fucking.
much harder than when I perform
Yeah.
with him.
Oh,
Like,
it's
yeah.
easier to
Capture
use
that
each other's
You have
energy.
to use each other's energy, and that's
Yeah,
brilliant.
yeah.
Because when I was just a few videos of me busking from like 2 years ago in Skerries, and I used to, in my head, this is what I realised: the crazier I can be, because I was trying to get people up to sing and do karaoke. I did get a few people up actually, but the crazier I was, I had horse helmets I put on the bell rounders. You could dig into
So,
the
the
archives.
first time I ever met you, I was like, "This is the maddest motherfucker."
Yeah, I don't know the second I went to that.
You were
that
wearing-
laugh
yeah.
got me, man. I
You
was
were
like,
wearing
damn, that's
what were you wearing on that? What were you
know.
wearing, baby, on fucking
Here we
Halloween?
go.
Were you wearing like the
Oh
fucking
yeah, yeah.
the sea captain? Was
It was
it?
something like the sea captain.
I think it was a sea captain fucking costume.
I am your sea captain.
That was Luke Clerk. Luke Clerk was the sea captain.
Oh,
on it.
that was on the, no, that was it was similar
was
to what
Halloween.
I think it was like the Dictator or something like that. But what I realise is right, the fact that
You
you
okay? You're reading some weird text.
I'm right back. No,
Just going for a glass of milk, guys. We're back in 2 minutes.
a nice strong glass of milk. No, milk coming out my nose.
I swear, bro, it's milk.
No, shut up for a second.
Not milk, bro.
Shut up, right? I'm trying to get on a good point here. So being the fact that you are crazy on stage, it gives you license.
No,
to,
we're just crazy every
No, but
day.
that's what I mean.
We're not well in the head.
We're not
like.
well.
Whoa.
There's no-
Basil, we're not good. We're just not
not
right
saying
in the
that
head.
well, like,
arguing
we're just
with you.
crazy.
I'm not.
Fucking
That's not what I'm doing. But
Okay.
what I realize, the more you can be looser, right, is that it gives the crowd an excuse to be looser as well.
Facts.
If you're going mad, right, they can be a little bit madder, but they don't have to go as mad as you. You're setting the bar, right? And if you set the bar so high, then people can get way looser. There's a guy, he manages a football team up on the field. His name's Digger. It's only like, let's say, it's inconsequential in a way. It's like Sunday League. It's not like fucking the Premiership. But he gets so into it. He'd swear that it's the most important thing in the world. And why not make it the most important thing in the world? He gets into it. I'm not even a football guy. And I'm like, I'm getting into it now. I'm like,
Love
come
the
on!
attitude.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know
love
what I mean?
the
Because I'm just
attitude,
like,
yeah.
he's letting me get into it because he's going off the walls. And I'm like, oh, normally I wouldn't be able to do that, but even because as a non-football guy, but then I'm like, I'm just feeding off his energy. I'm like,
I was only saying to Jimmy like as well a while ago. So like we were out my nanny's back one time smoking a joint, right? And like we're saying to
Most stories start with smoking.
Yeah.
Straight.
The common theme here.
She didn't realise.
put that into every story.
It is that way.
Yeah.
But we were out the back anyway, and I used to play for St. Dan's, like, when it's literally right at the back in my nanny's house there. And I could just hear, like, you know, them training.
Thomas Davis for life.
Yeah.
You're such a man, you're right.
Alright.
I didn't say nothing.
Don't be hijacking the story, right?
You're just talking about
I'm just
Thomas
correcting
Davis.
the record. I'm just correcting the record.
Fucking
I'm not hijacking the story.
Name on you. St. Dan's name
I'm
on
just
you.
fact checking. It was Thomas Davis.
We're mountain men. We're mountain men. Morning, Brennan.
Yeah, you're born and bred to do fuck all.
But anyway, wait, now you had to
Now
make me
you're
lose the
trying
point.
the football, the
Yeah.
joint, the smoking
Yeah,
out
so
your
I could
granny's
hear,
back shed.
them
The St. John's
training.
are shit.
I could hear them, fuck on. I could hear them training, yeah. And I said it to me, I was like, you know what I miss? Just someone shouting at me. And like, you know when you be training, like, you know, but not 10 more, you know, like, like I was just sitting out the back and I just hear it, I was like, I miss that, like, you know, and it was getting me into that mood of just,
Yeah, I get that.
I wanted to just,
No,
I
but
get that.
we'll start shouting at you now, yeah?
Yeah.
no, that's just why he gets aroused at
I
that, you know
get
what I
it.
mean?
Yeah.
I was just about to say, like, you know.
You're just
I
like, you know,
didn't-
you get motivated.
I get motivated.
You're horny, innit? You know what I mean? You could both take something different from it, you know what I mean?
Look, you know what I mean?
But it is interesting though because let's say when you As long as you're not end up
Yeah, look,
fighting.
you had
man.
Liam Maroney, so that's how I look at
Fitter,
it.
faster, stronger, name on you. He used to shout, fitter, faster, stronger, name on you. If you understood like, let me,
That's brilliant. You know what I mean? But it gives you allowing yourself, because everything you can look at in a cynical view. You could look at that and say, oh, look at those stupid fuckers up there running and shouting around playing football. Look at them lads singing. Oh, it's so stupid, isn't it? So there's the opposite of of giving out your all to something, right? Because you're putting yourself in the chopping block, let's say, because it's a vulnerable position to actually put yourself out and say, no, I'm going to get into this. Because some people shy away from it. Some musicians, let's say, they're not brave enough to really get into the songs and let themselves kind of like really enjoy it, because there's we can all, I've been there
like
before, where you have a
Yeah.
mental block to you're nervous, you're shy, and these are things you overcome eventually. You know what I mean? I've been in these places. I remember my very first open mic in Cardiff, like shaking before I went up. You know what I mean? And then after that, I've kind of just been getting more confident over time. But there's a time where it's safer to not like put yourself out there, because someone can just go, yo shit, and chop you down, or what are you getting into it for? Like that's stupid.
But here's the key to all that, right? You interact with your crowd. So
Yes.
consider, right, we used to use in circles, right? INEC, for instance,
Yeah.
Paul, Annie Peters again, for example. She's performing. Seamus gonna have to tell a few people to shut up. We're all gonna have to, because people are gonna be talking. You know, that's the dynamic of the room.
Yes.
When we play, that never happens. No one's ever told to shush during our set. In fact, they're encouraged to do that. Obviously.
Jump around. It's part of it.
And the people only know really to do that is because we're interacting with them.
Yes.
Now, Annie's able, for instance, because remember she was really shy at the start, don't get me wrong, like, you know,
Yes.
but now she's a master of holding people in.
She's
She'll
so
interact
good.
with
She
you, you know.
reaches out into your
Honestly,
soul.
She can do that without even
we done
talking
last day,
to you,
Basil,
like.
the show we had the last day, like,
shit.
with the band and all, man, like, say, whole levels gone from, like, there to
She's
there,
fucking
like,
outstanding.
But now it's taking it to the next.
with the
next.
band and all, like, it's actually fucking lit, to be honest with you.
Wow.
But the key is interacting with your crowds, giving them permission to get loose.
Yes, that's the thing. See, that's what I'm saying. You set the tone, and then everyone goes 7 a.m. and then you start jumping. Do you know, I know I don't, when I'm dancing, I don't really, because jumping is such a high energy move. I only have a few jumps in me before I'm like, oh Jesus Christ! What is it like?
Oh, jump for days.
That's what I'm saying. You jump for days.
Fucking
That's like a dog.
You're like a duck. I'm just getting tired. Look, but you know,
Yeah.
I was at Minty's the other night, and I was getting loose, let's say, and because I was playing off the backing tracks because I wanted to get some footage of the backing tracks for just for marketing and stuff. But in between bits, I find it hard to, like, cause the kind of character I am, I'm trying to be, let's say I'm like funny, or I'm trying to be funny.
Bravo.
I'm,
Like,
yeah, bravo, yeah. So
Yeah.
if I'm in between the bits, without the guitar in my hand, I feel like I have to fill everything. I have to fill all the little gaps with, like, just like, and here's a blah blah blah. Like, oh,
There
like,
with the drum.
yeah, like, boom, 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 boom. Because, like, I can't deal with it. Like, I have to, like, I can't.
Oh no, I love that.
I love it as well. I know.
That was in the
But
elements. Like,
I lost my way the other night because I noticed I was getting real out of breath when I was trying to sing, because I wasn't focusing on the breathe. I lost track. I was trying to be too. So sometimes I go and I don't give the songs then the full shilling, let's say, or give them the full, because I'm getting too carried away with the look at me, I'm Basil Breen. You know,
it is actually quite hard, but I find it as well, like,
Just keep
it takes
practicing it.
fitness,
You'll
like,
be able
'cause,
to
like, I may be
master
jumping
both.
around
Yes.
and then I'm jumping into a verse after that where I need every
That's what I mean. That's what I'm
like,
kind of.
you know what I mean? Like, and I'm out of breath trying to do that. Like it's not easy work.
No,
like,
You
it's
use
not.
visuals.
Yes.
It's corny, but like use a visual to take a breath instead of
Yeah,
fucking.
yeah.
You know?
What do you mean by that?
You were projecting yourself. You're kind of distracting
Yes.
the crowd from the initial subject, which is the tune.
Oh,
You're
interesting.
adding a new element.
You see, it's handy for me.
And
as
that
well to
real
have him
voice
there, 'cause
then
if I
back
need a
into
little
it.
quick,
Yeah.
he can just.
Now Dylan needs a breath, and he's
Yeah,
like,
I'll take the piss out. People will
just
be
say
like,
a word and then in that
"What's wrong,
second,
Dylan? You're just having an asthma attack."
no, he just started beating me. And he's like, get it out of there!
But it works. It
Yeah.
gets people refreshed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
Provocative.
like,
Gets the people going.
yeah, there you go.
I'm coming in so hard, the man. But we
yeah.
haven't. No. There's nothing we can do. It's over. Like,
So,
Delete that now. Just delete it. We'll start again.
But so then, right? So your plan, you've just deleted all whatever work is happening. Your plan is to start again. But the hard thing is for you is that okay, because you need to. Do you need to both be together? Well, you have to have the some like you have to have the song, enough songs to know. Okay, like is it gonna be? Do you need to create much from scratch? Or like
Always.
as in the ideas.
Always.
No, what I mean is.
I often have lyrics there.
Yeah.
Like,
The concepts, you know, but like the.
But like Set Me on a
song.
Mad One, how much more in terms of you know what? It's like the scaffold.
No, that's getting broken down. We're starting again. Even 7am is getting refreshed.
Why?
Everything, because that's the way it's going.
Don't be too far away now.
Hello.
It's the. It's
What
just how
is
it's
this
doing.
contraption? What does it do?
I'm gonna get these disinfected for the next guest. So,
Or don't. Depends on what they're into. You know what I mean?
Who's on next?
what I mean is, this is the problem. The problem is, and this is the thing. Let's say if you wrote a song last year, you got to record it now, or let's say you record a song last year. And you're like, oh, it doesn't match now what I am at this point, right? So art is like a timestamp, let's say. So there's a time where you're like, oh, this feels really good. Then a few weeks later, now you're just like, oh, no, delete that. We're doing it again now because you've let it marinate too long, and it was great at the time, but now you're over it.
Yeah.
And but that's loads of these songs, right? I'm listening to now. I'm like, oh, I'm thinking about changing that end of that song. I'm just like. They're done. They're done. I don't give a fuck.
Like, yeah,
I need to stop. I need to stop because they're never gonna get released.
We
It's
can't
an
do
artist
that, though.
course. It's an artist
It
course.
is a course.
Yeah.
My producer was telling me, right, like he's had people. They finished the album, right. 6 months later, it's like, we're not putting that album out actually because like it's just not. We need to. I'm starting again. It's like, what do you mean? Like you put so much work and effort in, right, and you have to eventually just draw the fucking line in the sand.
It's true, but like we're getting feedback now, and look, we'll always say what the fuck we want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, I
We
appreciate
realise-
always
that.
gotta be
But we realise-
I'm
controversial.
just giving you that other perspective.
We realise
You used to do what you want.
some of the songs though, we are honestly getting this though. Like, do you know what I mean? Some of the shit we didn't even realise.
Okay.
Some of them fucking.
Yeah, like a lot of people are like, I'm so offended by that, and I'm like,
And like usually we'd be just like, fuck off. I don't care if you're offended. Because I'm gonna do what I fucking want.
I'm
Which
a
is
freaking creature. I'm a freaking creature. Like,
Yeah.
If you don't get it, that's not my
where it all
problem.
originated in. But ultimately, that's not how I want to be. That's not how
You don't want to
That's
be
the
viewed
thing.
as well, like in the
So,
sense.
the thing
we have returned back.
Yeah.
But I don't want to bury you because there's so
No,
many
like,
good
you have
elements
to.
that you say, we can redo this fucking
Yes.
shit.
So
Or don't, or just burn it.
what the thing with feedback, right, is I'm learning so much. I really highly recommend that this book by Rick Rubin. But he says
I can't read.
feedback. It's an audiobook. I don't read either.
I can't listen.
You fucking buy it.
I just bite down on
Not
it.
doing it. Not doing it. That's stupid. Anyway, why would you listen to that? No, what I mean is that.
I am Rick Rubin.
So, Dad.
I'm Daddy Death Jam.
No. So with feedback, what you're describing, right? So someone gives you feedback, right? You can choose to let that in, and I think you should. You should always listen and look. Okay, let's let that into my heart for a minute, and let's see it from that perspective, and see if there's anything there. Let's see if it means anything. Let's say, because sometimes it can just be, oh no, actually, no, I don't agree with that. But what you're saying, sometimes if the feedback is like, oh, actually, I didn't see it from that perspective, but now that I do see it from that perspective, I get why they'd be pissed off now, and I don't want to be putting that badness, because that's not what I want.
We were given a voice. We were basically just, people, the amalgamation of complaints. We don't listen to everything at once.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But
We
some
do
people
take some on board.
some
Like, some of them are
Some
like,
people have just
point
said to
there,
us,
That's
like,
the way to do it.
they put it to us, you're better than this.
Yes.
And then when you look at it from that perspective, you're like, yeah, you're right.
This is interesting, right? Because with comedy, if you look at so I've listened to other like.
Well, what's allowed in comedy now? Like,
That's
as
what I'm
well, yeah.
saying. But what
We get away with a lot of shit.
I know,
That
but-
comedians, no one else does.
Yeah, no
Why are
one
we
sees
an
no
exception
outside,
kind
yeah.
of thing?
But, so what I want to get on this point, right? So there's this book. It's called The Comedy Bible, but it has like the rules of comedy. Let's say that are, like it's agree. It's not there's no real rules, but one of the things she says in the book is she talks about how people don't just talk about like it's easy to be provocative with sex stuff. Let's say, oh yeah, you stuck it in my ass with two whatever, blah blah, and like,
How did it feel?
That's what I mean, and it felt sore. Oh, and it's like, oh, and then his granny walked in, and she was like, so you could be.
This happened last night or this morning?
All right, you're like, maybe this is actually good comedy. I don't know, but I've seen people rely too much on being provocative, right? Instead of being funny. It's easy to be provocative with a statement like there was shit all over my face, but is it
that
funny?
Took a weird fucking
you know what I mean? I don't know.
So the granny walked in and then you got shit on your face.
But imagine I'm on stage. Yeah, some people are gonna laugh, but it's too easy. It's lazy, let's say.
Yeah.
And some jokes, let's say, if you're talking about like things of a sexual nature, it's like, are you saying it? Is it funny because it's clever, or is it funny just because it's like, oh, nobody says that, so it's like you're just shocking. I think it's cooler, let's say, to be clever than lean on sort of, I don't know, just provocative statements just for the art of it in a way.
Rap videos like wordplay and
a lot of wordplay, a lot of a mixture of filthy elements and fucking like.
But reference into something else like.
To pay a simile metaphor. We're going on out like poetically at times, which is fucking silly. But because like the shit we're talking about.
I'll ride your boy's ass bear like the Revenant.
Yeah, but like that's good.
Exactly.
But that's not just provocative. That's clever.
No, but you see, if people have heard that live, you know, and like they're like, that's real morose. Because they're not picking up the fucking double entendre.
The brilliance of that.
But they don't have to. They don't have to.
I know.
See, I really a lot of things have double meanings and no one will ever get as well. And it's like if we
they're not going to
take
time to unpack it either. Like if we spent a lot of time coming up with something really clever. You don't mean everything.
Take a few listens, but sometimes you would get people come up like, that's a fucking man. Like, I love that you get that. Like, when you get them people that get it, it's more
tricks your mind. It is supposed to initially offend you, and then you go,
But it's not even. You're not even saying it for the effect. You're just saying it because it's like the spirit of the MC is like, I'm better than you and I'm the best in the world. That's a say, right? That's like
it is. It's already.
So you have to. So that's where the bravado comes from.
Yeah.
So that's the ultimate spirit. But then the wordplay is like that's like the combination of like the spirit of the MC and there's cleverness in a way. Like when I hear that, I'm like, little like that's a great little line. Like Gears of War, you're stuck in neutral. You know what I mean? Like that. Like it's just these are little great little like because they're all. Them the juxtaposition between like concepts and ideas and when they do mesh, but it's a shame actually because it's like there is a line I suppose there has to be a line somewhere because imagine
a few lines beforehand.
Many lines.
But imagine you just said instead of being clever, it's like I'm gonna ride your arse bear.
When? After the podcast?
I'm gonna ride your ass bear and I just don't
promise.
care. Like, you know what I mean?
Don't make promises.
Come on, like, you bring us to Spar. I didn't see you get lube. I'm getting worried.
What happens to skerries now?
I'm behind the yin and yang
Basil's just
table.
going to use milk for lube.
I wouldn't waste my milk on you.
Oh, right, that's fine. I feel like such a guest right now.
So there is a
just get me filtered water.
Yeah. Well, okay, so the other thing as well, it's like if you want to continue doing it, it's like you have to kind of think, okay, what is this enjoyable for an audience listening to it? And it could be just is with the bear thing. Maybe I have to ride their arse bear, but maybe there's another. There has to be something with the bear, but that's less. Roger, I don't know, but you know what I mean. Maybe there's another way of getting at it in a way.
We're gonna get in a scrap with a bear like Revenant. Do you know what I mean? So you build off that concept.
What's bear? Like bear? Like you're like I'm bare my soul. Who knows? You know what I mean? Like
there's the bare necessity.
Yeah. But so it could be when people. But
Basil Breen's rhythmic analysis podcast. Bring up the fucking PowerPoint. But this is how we're gonna edit these.
Here's where you're riding our ass bear. This is me right now. The podcast.
The Venn diagram. Okay, this is people that get it.
That's it.
This is the people who get it and the people who are just fucking sick in the head.
But I'd say it's called Spunk. You know Spunk.
I love the fucking master.
Yeah, he loves because it's all about surprise and wordplay. Let's say
exactly.
And, like, taking turns. Like he'll end with a sentence and then he'll like basically use that to like go somewhere completely different, and that's kind of cool. But with his stuff as well, you could be like, oh, that's a bit. See, it needs to. For me, it needs if it's clever. For my personal taste, then that's the most important metric, and you can say stuff that's a bit like rough around the edges. You know what I mean? But then if someone's listening to that, remember your this woman Michelle? I think she was a female rapper.
Oh yeah, I
remember
actually have a song with her.
She's brilliant, isn't she?
I have a song with her.
But she was real explicit, like fucking. I want you to split
she's
me.
gangsta, man.
She is proper gangster, but she is brilliant. But
from Luxembourg, man.
I remember when she was.
Yeah, that's a really small country like Luxembourg.
Oh, it is. It's really small. Yeah. But Ned Duns, I remember his family was in for something. And like she was like, oh, I'm
sorry.
sorry.
It was his feature. It was
his
yours.
feature.
Your night.
Yeah, it was my
same night.
Yeah. Wasn't Ned's night. It was
Basil
Boombox.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Ned. Yeah. You're lucky to be on my No, but because he was his parents were there, so she was like, oh, I'm sorry to Ned's parents. Like, but they're not the audience for that music. You know what I mean? So you have to think, like, is it the wrong? Like, are they the type of people that you? Because there are people that will enjoy that stuff, but it's just a hard one actually.
It was the easiest way is for us to really like an incident happened where we just took everything on board. It's the Farrier and Draper gig.
Yeah,
it's such a different like there was a dichotomy there.
Okay.
We're up down back to back on the stage, like, and there's just women looking at us with hatred.
Oh shit.
Oh, hatred.
Oh, it's bad. Like.
Now look, like,
and then there's a lot of lads going.
They didn't even do the song. Are you Roy?
Oh, he said Roy.
Yeah, he said Roy. They didn't even get the
Well, in fairness, right, I did actually bring him out on a dog collar, and it wasn't even a dog collar; it was a full-on BDSM collar. I walked him out
in a lab coat.
In a lab coat.
I bit his leg. I bit his leg off.
My leg, and all. It was just, and it wasn't even for the lyrics. It was just the most visuals. Like,
okay.
Daily introducing us. I was just barking around.
And then you're talking to Ryan Darcy's bear. Of course, the women are gonna be.
Oh, they were like, "What is going on here?" Like,
it wasn't the right vibe for it.
Yeah, like these were all nice people, and like, we were just two little knackers from Talent rocking up on stage and dog collars. You know what I mean? If we heard people by what we were saying, then that's fucking like we need to check our shit.
You're like, oh, that's not what I meant.
People in terms of not enjoying the vibe of it. We didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
We loved it.
Exactly.
Every single fucking moment of it. Like,
we were buzzing either way.
We were buzzing. We see.
Yes.
Here's the thing. We don't really fucking do it for the crowds anyway.
Yes.
Yeah. We do it for the soul.
Look, we love the fucking people that fucking love our music. Don't get us wrong. But like, this was never the concept to begin with. We used to be on our own in tunnels.
Just having a good time
with each other. We
fuck. That's what I mean.
So
at the end of the day, that's.
But if we hurt people, we should take it on board.
Yeah, there's no point going out there because we could. Let's say off camera, we could with your friends and with groups of people, with my family. Yeah. Like, if you see some of the things I've said, like, I'd never say in public, right? Just because we know it's a joke with us, right? Yeah. And like, I'm not I don't like. I'd say, like, let's say edgy, jokey stuff. Let's say about a terrible situation. Let's say, but I'd only say it with my family or people real close because we know that you're in a circle. We know they're in a circle. You know what I mean? But when you're and people's private conversations like would get them cancelled. Everyone's would, right? Nobody is like the perfect citizen of what they think. Like, oh, nobody's keeping their P's and Q's fucking checked all the time. If you looked at everyone's conversations. Like, I had a transcript of it. Everyone would be cancelled. Everyone, I think. You know what I mean? You won't get away with like someone would
cancel culture is real, though.
Yeah, exactly. But that's the other thing. It's like when you're coming into the public domain, like with music and stuff. It's like there's no need to be like too. If you're noticing, like the message is just coming across. It's making people are just seeing it as this negative kind of thing, and they're not getting it. Then it's like, oh well, it's okay to change the messaging if the purpose is to get crowds to bounce around to it, because you can do the clever stuff.
Look, Basil, we're gonna get cancelled. We're gonna do it in a better way.
Yeah.
This is what we're doing.
But then we're gonna get cancelled and then probably come out with a funk tune or something after as well. Like, you wouldn't know what.
We're gonna get cancelled because we'll push the fucking envelope for certain things.
The funky creatures.
We just won't be stupid about it.
Yeah, don't be. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, all right.
And there were some lyrics back there. I was like, that's just stupid. Yeah. That's just. It's disgusting. And
it's shock
to the point where it's just like you feel like a child saying it sometimes. You know what I mean?
Oh man, the first time I did stand up, right? I actually got it recorded. It was only like I did it just to do it. But some of the jokes, and I had to. They were worse, but I ran them past my sister as well. so we filtered some out. But when I watched it back, I was like, this isn't me. Like I was being too provocative, let's say, with some things I was saying just for that shock value instead of being clever with wordplay or creating a joke like in a kind of smart way. I was just like, and I was looking back and I was like, oh no, that's not what I want. That's not what I want to be. I don't want to be that guy who's just saying the disgusting thing and being like, oh yeah, like kind
I
of
want to set it up and like time it right, get some things
I want to
right,
I want to be like, I'd rather be
it.
funny without having to say anything about sex or because there's comedians that are just funny that are just because they're just funny. And like they don't.
You can talk about sex though.
You
just need to be positive about it. A bit more positive. You can be as dirty as you fucking want.
Yeah.
Like for instance,
I have found that as well.
My missus is like this. She describes me. She's like, she loves some of the lyrics. They're filthy, but the ones that aren't offensive, they're filthy. She said, because I like hearing that shit. I think it's funny. I think it's fucking good. Very like, you know what I mean. There are people out there that don't get offended.
That's sexy shit, you know what I mean?
But you know what? And you should be this way. For people that just get offended because you've talked about sex, those people need to fucking kind of just, you know...
No, there is some of them they have a right to get offended over. Don't get us wrong.
Reassess how they feel about it. It might be traumatic where, like, you know what I mean, church and shit like that, you know what I mean? Oh, sex is bad, you know, you shouldn't be doing that. Like, we are Irish and all that, but, like, there's nothing wrong with fucking talking about sex. Absolutely nothing.
I think with offence is an
and riding the
interesting
hole off someone.
Blowing the hole off you.
Blowing the hole off a young one. That is somewhat acceptable to say.
Depending if she's enjoying it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course, but she always is.
No, of course that has to be
But
consensual.
she always is, like, you know what I mean?
Always
Come on, like.
Fucking Jimmy the
Look at us.
Bastard.
We're beautiful.
It's all about context. When you say things in a way, like you're not asking to be like to be fucking the like the
Sorry.
you're not running for to be a TD or anything. You're rapping.
do you know?
No, I'm just saying.
Oh, Basil, you're on the ruin it. I was about to announce, man. I'm about to run for Sinn Féin, I tell you. Sean Crowe, you better watch out.
Sinn Féin,
I'm only messing with you.
We're gonna make a rap out of that. But with fans, it's interesting because I think I have a thick skin, but obviously there are things that people could say that I would offend. I don't know if I get offended. I'd be like, you're just being a dick. There's things that people say to me that would be, let's say, if they're just being rude to me, that would piss me off more than because I can kind of see. But when you're getting offended, let's say, sometimes it makes sense to get offended, but sometimes you're giving energy to something that you're allowing it to give. Like, why are you giving your energy to it in a weird way?
Why are you getting upset over it in a sense? You could just let it go over your head, like.
Yeah, but there's a line, because if we all did that, then let's say people like Martin Luther King wouldn't have
Everyone
done
has
what they
that touchy
did.
subjects.
You know what I mean? Like, so there needs to be a line where you're like, okay, we don't accept like anti-Semitic stuff, let's say, like, because we can all disagree, like, we don't want hate towards a group, but it's like, what if I wear, you don't like this color T-shirt, and imagine you were genuinely offended by that.
I am. It's giving withdrawal symptoms.
And you could actually be offended by this color.
I am. I'm saying.
And imagine you were.
It's not a color. It's a shade.
You're throwing shade at me right now.
I am.
But what I mean is, and then you're choosing to allow something that's inconsequential, that's not really
minuscule,
important.
like,
It's not important, but you're giving it energy, and it's like, come on now.
You're holding on to it.
Yeah, but again, I don't know what it's like to be sort of marginalised, or I know some people, certain groups and everything, they can get offended by certain things, because I don't see it from certain perspectives. But I do feel that, you know, sometimes you do have to have a bit of a thicker skin in a way, because if you allow things to, you're allowing other people's words and actions to affect your inner psyche in a way. I think
it's
that's
hard
dangerous.
sometimes, though.
Yeah,
For instance,
yeah.
like, you know, how do you feel when you hear like a group of Americans compare Irish people to leprechauns?
See, I think
I couldn't give a bollocks, being honest.
But if you heard it like 5 times a week, right?
Yeah.
if I heard them saying those dirty little leprechauns.
That's what I'm going to get to. But say like they're saying,
Okay,
the Irish are leprechauns, you know what I mean? That's all they are, is leprechauns. I mean, we laugh about it.
Yeah,
imagine it 5 days a week.
Yeah, you're right.
You get pissed
I'd be
off.
like, all right, lads.
Come on,
it's not
like,
really that funny.
It's not funny.
Yeah, it's starting to
It's
bond
not,
me.
yeah.
Like,
And then imagine,
Look at the little leg. Yeah. You're right.
Imagine one day,
Why shaming me this
one
way?
day they just go, we need to kill all these fucking leprechauns.
Yes, exactly. So
Imagine you had to deal with That's it.
Yes.
That's the fucking depth of it.
That is the thing. That's
Talk about
Humans are cruel, man.
We don't go to that level. That's obviously the fucking
no, that's
worst.
hate.
The worst
That's like
you
the
can go
hate.
to
That's
true hate.
hate,
Yeah.
However, there could be somewhere in between this of making a leprechaun joke to that
Yes.
that reminds that person.
And that's the interesting thing. There's like
That journey,
This is
you
the
know what I
hardest
mean?
bit is because we all draw the line somewhere. Your line, the lines are just different where we draw them, right? And fair enough, everyone has the right to draw the lines where they want, but there's sensible places to draw a line. Like for example, if someone walked in here with a knife, it's sensible to think, oh, that person could be dangerous, right? Or if someone just walked in and they were an older woman and they were just looking for a bit of milk, it's sensible. I didn't mean that. What is wrong with me? She just comes in with a little bit of milk, right? It's safe to say that she's sound, right? And
I don't know, man.
But that's
Why
what
did she have a knife?
Exactly. No, shut up, right? But maybe but there is a situation where the guy with a knife will come in and he just wants to chop up a nice thing of cheese for me or something. Or, you know what I mean?
I'll tell you, listen, I love your work, but fuck off.
Shut up,
Please.
shut up. But the knife guy, there's instances where he could be saying, and
I'm a knife guy.
shut up. How am I ever going to make my great point? And then milk lady could be coming in. Maybe she doesn't have milk. Maybe she's trying to take my milk away.
No, she'll never do
You know
that.
what I mean? But it could be the case. So we're drawing lines somewhere where we're saying, okay, actually, I think he's dangerous, but he's actually not dangerous. But we do have to have kind of lines somewhere, and where we choose them can it's real arbitrary, it's subjective, and people can draw them wherever they want. But the danger is when you draw them too close to certain things. You're not allowing things to, especially these days. I think offense is just kind of, not that I even experience things in my everyday life. I think most of it is just online. You know what I mean? People saying, oh, people are complaining and cancelling and all this. It's in my everyday life, I'm just going to Spar and getting milk.
I was waiting for it. Honestly, I was waiting for it.
And I think, but as we go forward and as you sort of produce in the world, I remember when I was busking on Grafton Street, there's a video of some lad coming up to me and telling me I was the worst thing he's seen in 40 years, right? And it was so funny. No, but
40 years.
I learned from this, right? But it was a brilliant line. He was like, oh, can you turn that down? I was like, oh yeah, grand. And he's like, I've been here for 40. I'll get you the video. It's so funny. It's great. He has the credentials to say it because he's actually probably been there for 40 years, right?
Sample them.
But yeah.
Put them at the start of your song.
Well, at the time, it was funny because someone had just given me a $5, literally a minute. I had it on a GoPro. I used to record all my sessions with a 360 GoPro, and then I cut it up and everything. So then, so I had her give me a $5, and then him coming over and being like, you're the worst thing in 40 years. So it was a great little video, and I was like, oh, see, look what it. But I learned, I was just standing there trying to be funny without. What I learned was from that is that when people give me money, then I go, oh, thank you, give me money. I make up a song then. I wouldn't just be trying to
make a song when people are shitting on you.
Yeah, or you know what I mean? Yeah, or
you should do that. But to be careful though.
No, but just
look at that young fella walking down the road, bro.
Don't be put. Yeah.
I've
got that as well. But the point is,
you're getting trouble out. But you look the size, man. You take on a few of the cunts.
Oh yeah,
all of that in the 360 GoPro.
I know it's recording, so
I watched that.
What I'm saying is, right, so that
the Basil Breen
so he was offended by what I was doing, let's say, and I actually at first I thought, oh, this adds a fucking prick in my head, but then thinking back, I was like, actually had a bit of a point, because I was I actually felt then I need to be just making more about the music and not, if you look at the video, I'm like, oh, the votes aren't, I'm just trying to be funny or something, you know what I mean? And he was probably just hearing me, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, you know what? I'm sick of this lad talking shit up there, right? And actually that's fair enough, you know what I mean?
Did it help you?
It did. It actually helped me, it changed everything for me then, because then I was like, okay, I think he had a point actually. when I think back to it, it's like, why? Like, let's stop make it more about the music, and then let the moments happen, and don't be trying to force. I'm not a street comedian, you know what I mean? That's not what I'm doing. And I get caught up in these worlds in a weird way.
That can happen.
But what I'm trying to say is that sometimes the offense is warranted in a way. Like in that instance, you might see if you look at the video, you think, oh, that lad was a wanker. But there's also for me, I can see some truth in it, and he had a right to kind of be offended and annoyed, even though it might look like he's being a spoil sport or something. I get it, but so like it is tricky though, because if that had been my first time busking, let's say, and he just came down and I was just singing, let's say, and I wasn't trying to be funny, I was just shit, let's say, then he comes down and then he discourages me from ever busking again. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like, go away, you're shutting me here. Like, I'm only there 5 minutes, my first day ever, imagine, right? Yeah. So that's like, you're being a wanker then, in my opinion. You know what I mean? So
it's what you took and ran with.
That's
what we're doing in the same thing. We're nuking everything. We know everyone likes fucking 7 a.m. and all that shit. But the vibe is the one thing that's most widely received in that song. The energy we brought.
Jumping up and down like mad constant. The horse is out of the box.
The horse is out of the box.
We started off when we were in the chipper, man. Stoned out of our brains.
it's always that song.
We were.
No, we were bait.
We were going ordering like a mega box.
Yeah.
And there was a guy in there, right, in the Chinese, like, give your man the greasy garlic dip.
Give him the greasy garlic. That's all here.
And we were like, what the fuck's the greasy? You see, your man's gonna open a door and he's gonna shoot him.
Like, greasy garlic.
Yeah, he's gonna grease him out. Like, he's gonna deliver the 3 in 1
Oh, mate.
So then we were sitting there just laughing, like, just getting on a good buzz. And then somehow the horses out of the box, ketamine just came out.
I didn't see that going.
It just came out of nowhere. Like,
yeah.
And then
we were sitting down eating the Chinese, like, and it's just
the horses out of the box. Ketamine.
There's probably got something to do with the mega box or something, and it was probably like eating like a horse or something. And
could have been the line of ketamine. Who knows?
Oh no! Do you know what it was? We were doing that's facts. Or be going to the jacks, click clack to this fat by the horse bareback. Zip zap, still again and I go. Let me fucking know, swallow that. In the battle star, give him fat balls. Yeah, man. That's what it was. The horse.
That's where the horse came from.
Yeah, and like the horse out of the box, maybe.
Yeah,
it's hard to really quantify what the fuck we're doing.
Yeah.
But we come up with some shit. But when we came up with them, we were sitting there going, we were visualising the crowd.
Yeah, we're like just shouting at and like just having people shouting back ketamine back. We're like
we dream like this one day we will at least have like a couple of people shouting that back. That's all we want.
Yeah.
That's our only goal if we.
It's a bang. You can feel it though. You know what I mean? I feel.
We already do, man.
Even like that's standing like ketamine is just all. I look back to the last circles when we done the feature, like usually we have to go, right, so me go the horse, we didn't even say it. Like,
and it just happened.
I was just like, that doesn't, you know.
This is an interesting one, actually. Because I maybe it's because I'm too afraid to ask people, like, because you see some people going, there's a chorus coming up in this, so you can all sing along, I'll tell you it's the chorus now. So you're training the audience in a way, right?
They're asking to know. We tell you what the fuck.
No, but that's I'm not, and so I've been thinking about this a lot because I'm thinking, a part of me, one part of me thinks, you shouldn't really, like, if they sing along, they sing along.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, right? But there's another part of me that thinks, but they want permission to also sing along, perhaps as well. So you have to let them know that it's good.
Yeah.
So then I can
it's
see
your crowd work. That's what I'm saying.
That's your crowd work. Yeah. So it's actually the fact that I'm like, I think this thing. I'm not gonna get the most enjoyment out of my crowd then if I'm not willing to say, because if I took a chance, and then you're taking a chance. Because what if, like, some lads' courses are great, right? Most time it works. But I've seen the odd chorus or something where they'll sing it, right? And it's not really that catchy, let's say, right? And it's
too much words.
There's too much words, right?
People are like, Kansas.
They do practice. I'm like, I always try.
We keep it simple. Ketamine.
Horses out of the box.
Ketamine.
But if you make it too complicated,
do it then.
But if it's like this big complicated thing, But I'm just like, it just
fuck that,
hurts me
man.
when. Now, it's only happened a few times that I've seen it, and I just thought, I couldn't do that. But then coming back to the crowd work, it's like, how are you supposed to? If you set the tone by saying, oh yeah, we can get into this and we can sing it, and it's simple. Look, this is the chorus. So then we're gonna go for it when we're gonna come and say it's already, yeah. Then it's a more enjoyable experience for everyone, and then especially in these situations where, and it comes down to, I suppose, they don't know let's say it could just be people off the street, they've never heard of you before. You know what I mean? Because it's just open mics or whatever. So it's not like they know your songs to sing along to, unless you kind of give them a little intro or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But so you've noticed then on the last one that you didn't have, like, I suppose, because people have, if somebody's
Because of circles, that was well.
It was
Yeah.
100%, yeah. And
Like, there was
also
a good few people there that knew what to do from watching us,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
and then they kind of, everyone else kind of picked up on them
Yeah.
doing it as well that wouldn't have known, like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
So sometimes, so you have build up some credibility there, so you didn't have to put on the little
Like
the
you
PowerPoint presentation, like
Yeah.
if we get
like I'm jumping around, he's usually just trying to tell people, no, I'm like running around like a mad thing, like,
yes.
But like, you know,
he just lost his shit that day as well, like, we both just lost that shit, we're like, fucking, like,
we were there that day when we walked off the fucking stage,
It
right?
could have been.
we walked off the stage, went downstairs, we're chilling out downstairs, we were done, like, we thought we were done, like.
We had a guy up there playing guitar with us, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Full of Perfect.
yes. So we had him on, which was the song you were gonna play for us later when we perform it. If you would.
I'll do my best, but I'm not talking a perfect one. Like.
He fucked us. He fucked us at the end. I was trying to end the song, right? I just kept going. I was like, right.
No, what Casey told him to keep on. That's what Casey said to me after. Yeah, Casey.
Yeah. So Casey comes up and was like,
so
keep
we
going.
walked off the stage. We thought it was done.
Oh, no. I was like, end the song and said, Casey, keep going. Whatever the fuck happened.
Yeah, we were downstairs.
The instrumental just kept going. It just kept getting played on the guitar, and I was like, okay, I'm just walking off. And we walked off, went out the fucking front, the side door, down the steps.
Went back up.
Went back outside, laughed our heads off. Went back
back door up on the stool, like just back like. No
way!
We say had the next thing.
Shut up!
Yeah.
We say done a lap.
That's legendary.
We weren't expecting it. We didn't want the applause. We didn't want the applause for even that performance. We just said fuck it. We've ended our set on that. Fuck everyone. We'll just walk out.
Yeah.
We were hoping by the time we came back up, we'd be on to the next act or something like that.
Yeah.
But no, we kept fucking going, and we were like, we need to put the fucking end to this, man. It's gonna go all fucking night.
That's hilarious.
Honestly, like,
came into the back door.
battering each other on fucking stage.
Shut up.
He jumped out onto the fucking crowd. Was it the same night you did that? You jumped out into the fucking.
Oh,
you nearly fell.
Jumped into the crowd.
He jumped off the fucking stage.
Right at the
on
end,
the stool,
with
double jumped off the stool.
There's that moment where I was looking at it going, this could go wrong. But it was
This could go wrong.
It was just instantly in
You're
the
in the
moment. I
moment.
was like, I have to go for it. No, I was like, either go for it or I'm going to break myself up.
There's no one standing
So I
up.
just
There's
went
no
for it
people
and
on
like-
tables though. He would have jumped right into a cunt on a table. I just looked at him and go, what are you doing, man? I just saw him mid-air. I was like, oh. No, I was like, fuck him. Fuck him, go on. I've got this.
That's hilarious. But then just coming back to so with the recordings then, you have deleted whatever you're working on. What is the path forward then for
The
getting
psychopath.
But what is it?
The psychopath.
We're both psychopaths.
Alright, they end up killing me now. You've seen it
I
here.
actually came with a knife. He doesn't know.
We only came with the milk. That's where that is.
Well, come on, lad. Seriously, when is there, like, because obviously I know it's hard.
7 a.m. needs to begin again. Brand new instrumental. Hopefully,
brand new.
maybe with a band, maybe fucking mad synthesizers. Who fucking knows? We have the bare bones of it.
If you put too many, it needs this, it needs that, it needs that. It's never gonna get boring.
It needs la 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 la
La la la la. La 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 la.
What if, right, this is the question you have to ask yourself. What would it look like if it was easy?
It is.
It would just be you going like this on a in the
It
easiest
is.
form.
It is that easy.
la 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 la
La
la
la la la la la la la la la la. I'm gonna send him the audio. La la la.
4 a.m. and I melt me rocker. Try this sniffler but bleeding whopper. Hits another yoke, don't double dropper. I relax, so bleeding blocker. You have your head wreck and you're not relaxed. Here's a D10 that pull down that cash. Blow blow me flute like you're blowing a sax. Yeah, nobody knows about in the jacks. No one can hear this, the tunes are hopping. Fuck him anyway, or bleed and drop him. What's he gonna do? He's nothing but a fool. I put him in his busket, he's nothing but a tool. I know he's a brother, but he won't say nothing. He's smart enough to attempt start something. Man, the leather man's ready now, I'm leaving my bits. Now sucking me flute until I'm coming up.
7 a.m. when I'm at one. There's no pint left, but I grab some. Said, who has facts, can I grab one? I'm coming down fast on a bad one. Get your board away before I boxer. Is that anyone to drop down an Oscar? Don't worry about the money, man, I got you. Just sort out the fact by the structure. What's the story, bro? Gives a bit of sniff. I've been trying to sign me on with the boys that brought ticks. I've been looking for an out, so if the cash not tick. So I just one out and we keep the session up. Ah, bro, man, I can't be driving. Can he not drop it down?
Oh, wait, he's driving.
He has stuff there, said there's no way down, but pay for the taxi out the money.
Sound.
Taxi's outside, let him know we're on the way.
Holy shit, man, it's bright out today.
Taxi better hoodie, cause my phone's going dead.
I need to get up, I'm nearly ready for me bed.
Come back there, say we're just around the corner. I got the fucking sweat, sick of sitting in the sauna. There he is there, man, he's waiting at the door. At 10 or so I'm taking out a score. 7 a.m. when I'm at one. There's no plan left, but I grab some. Said who has facts, gonna grab one. I'm coming down fast on a bad one. Get your book away before I box up. Anyone to drop down an Oscar. Don't worry about the money, man, I got ya. Just start down the flat like a shotgun. Yo, 7 p.m. and I'm still in the gap. I'm whacking the lines, but I'm not shooting cats. Grown little lines, but I'm not eating bats. I'm not watching the time, I'm just having it. Sitting in the kitchen talking out Sloop Brown. Keep the Jones, kick them all, boy, drop down. Living in the moment, no thoughts of tomorrow.
Another day of life, just another day borrowed.
Wake up tomorrow, riddle with the fear. What was I saying and what did I hear? What the fuck happened? Was I really there? Did this really happen?
Do I really care? No,
I'm sore, I haven't got a penny. I'm flawed, known from the Benny. My lord, I may never drink a penny. I restart and I go again heavy. 7 a.m. when I'm out on. La 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 la. There's no pile left but I grab some. La 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 la. Said who has flags, can I grab one? La 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 la. I'm coming down fast on a bad one. The horse is out with a box. Get him in! The horse is out with a box. Get him in! The horse is out with a box. Get him in! The horse is out with a box. Get him in! The horse is out with a box. Get him in! The horse is out with a box. Get him in! The horse is out with a box. Get him in! The horse is out with a box. Yeah, we're sweating out of that.
Too easy now. That's going out onto Spotify now.
Right, so that's it, we've done. So we have,
have
3 more
one.
songs to do now.
That is
We're
brilliant.
pretty much just redone.
Alright, hold on. I want to check out what time are we doing actually. Hold on. Oh, perfect. We're just at the 2 hour mark, so
Okay, there you go, man.
that was brilliant,
That
boys.
was serendipity.
I don't know if we can get fucking hit a higher note than that, but what is there anything you want to get out to the great public out of yourselves except for that great song?
We're freaking creatures.
Creatures!
Creatures of habit.
Preachers of habit.
Preachers of
Creatures
rabbit.
of magic.
Yeah.
Abracadabra.
You just seen it there, the alchemists themselves. But I do hope that you get on the recording train.
Well, we will definitely. It's,
We just
it's
did.
coming.
I know.
Yeah, that's done.
That's good now. Next. There's another 13 and out.
Recording teacher, they do instrumental for that if you
You
don't
can
mind.
borrow it if you want. Can you play it?
No.
Yeah, come on. It's just for show.
It looks like a joint.
I reckon I could smoke it.
You could smoke it.
That'll tune in the next one.
Tune in next week.
I'm gonna plug one fucking gig.
Yeah, please.
21st of March
Yeah.
in the Grand Social Daily Forget Me Not EP launch
Oh
coming
shit!
out.
Yes.
Get your
That's gonna
tickets
be
on
sick.
Eventbrite, baby.
And Sticky Rhino.
Student Sticky
and
Rhino.
Neolithic as well.
Yeah.
It's a fucking run now, innit?
They're the opening
That'd
acts.
be a nice one.
Great plugs.
Yeah.
Check
What
them out.
actually is
I'm playing the bass, but I get down.
Are you playing the bass?
Yeah,
That's class.
that's my job.
Basic.
Pretty basic, bro.
It's not class. But so in terms of actually just this point, the sort of the Dublin like hip hop. What would you say? Hip hop, rap, like would you just say hip hop?
Yeah.
You know
Hip
what I mean?
hop rap.
Hip hop, rap. Yeah. So what is that?
Call us wankers.
In terms of that scene, because how long you have been on the scene, and did you know, let's say, the likes of Daily Shooting? Like, when did you get to?
Through open mics, through friends.
Through open mics,
We
that's
met
what I mean.
Casey through work.
Oh,
we did.
no way.
Me and
Yeah,
Casey,
actually, yeah.
and obviously Jimmy as well, were working together. But before even he started working with us, it was the night of my birthday, and I got Casey and the other friend Joe was there. Joe, Mark was there. Dario, we all went down to Porto Studio for my birthday. And that's how I actually introduced the
Yeah.
What's it like down there having just a party? I
It's
thought.
always a fucking party up there.
Oh, yeah. Anytime
Yeah.
recording is all. It's always.
Raves, got all going on.
Oh man!
Yeah.
Some lad brought me out the back because I forgot.
so sorry.
I lost a
I'm so sorry.
No.
That can happen sometimes.
But today's a part of the studios, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
exactly.
But I forgot my charger and I went back to get it and he was bringing me into the Lost and Found, which is a boot. But then he brought me into the real Lost
Is that
and
what they
Found.
call
right?
it? Yeah,
So, yeah. I got found out. And, but
You will be lost as soon as you
lads have
step in
left
this room.
bikes, the amount of pint glasses. Some lad, there's a set of decks there, proper big tractor fucking things that have just been there for years, that just got left there and forgotten about. It's insane. I'm just thinking, because it's actually just like a fucking room. There's no real authority up there or like keeping an eye on things.
There's people on cameras that'll switch off the lights and shit, which is like real like weird authoritarian because they won't stop absolute war breaking out.
I was in
Yeah.
the school
Happened
with
loads,
top
though.
on, swinging out of a bottle of Hennessy.
Yeah.
With the lights off.
Yeah. I was in the boot room just punching him, just giving him fucking energy.
There was the mental.
Just get him in the face, just going, gee, you can do it. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
You just have lots, man. I need to get into this fucking boot.
sometimes you have to be in that booth. The last time we were in the booth was fucking wasn't it Curtis and Romeo Outspoken?
Yeah,
and
Oh, yeah.
yeah, and in San Wayne we're doing a tune, and the same fucking thing. Getting into the booth, I just fucking got in and screamed at him. But he needs to be screamed at, like.
He needs it.
He needs a good slapping, like, do you know what I mean?
When weightlifters are doing weights, people get the big power slap on the back.
I walk out, I thrive off that sort of shit. You know
Yes.
what I mean? Like, it gives me that sort of, you up your country, you know?
Yeah.
That's why I try to do it with the crowds then when you're performing and you're like, come on, you know, get up,
you
you
into
fucking
it.
mad cunt.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
It's just build.
Yeah,
does.
And I think as well, because I've only experienced like recording on my own, but knowing that you're being listened to, knowing what I'm being being recorded now changes my reaction to speaking. Let's say, you know what I mean. So because you're trying to, let's say, put your best foot more forward. If imagine you were, I heard this really good thing. Imagine you had someone that was just looking at what you did on your laptop all the time. You wouldn't really be clicking stupid tabs. You wouldn't be opening up porn. You wouldn't be. Imagine you hired someone just to watch behind
I
your
bet you
back
still would, though.
while you work.
I bet you still would.
No, I just watch milk
Like, now,
videos.
someone's editing. I'm gonna watch porn.
No, but what I mean is that when we know we're being watched, we actually like. This is why the death of God is kind of so dangerous. Because before we thought, oh well, God's looking at me, so now. Like, better not, slap that puppy in the face or whatever it was. But now I'm just like,
No, that was a euphemism.
No, yeah. But you know what I mean? It's like that sort of just knowing that you're being you're held accountable to something.
Yeah.
Instead of
Some greater force.
Yeah. And the greater force is used to. You just keep each other accountable.
We are one with the force.
Yes.
Yeah.
You are the force. And
I'm Obi-Wan. Because I'm number one.
oh shit, he's number one, is he? No, I don't even start.
Just don't even know the name of my band.
Not original. Alright.
Creatures of Habit is, by the way.
Creatures of Habit.
Really? Yeah, that's good. Hey, you enjoy that there, yeah?
You offended, eh?
Look at him getting offended!
Oh, I'm not
Because I'll be Dr. Dre any day, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, keep the fucking name of your band and all, that's fine. I'll be Dr. Dre.
Man, the day you
I'll
come up
produce
with
for
a
your
beat,
band.
man, I'll be happy.
Alright, shut up, lads, right?
Oh, I'll give you a beat right now, you fucking
Beat down,
Alright, after we're gonna clear this place out and just gonna have it out, right? You know what I mean? But not while everything is running.
boxing gloves.
Yeah. But look, we're gonna wrap this up, right? Stop that, please. You used to be just brilliant. Like, I don't even want to stop. But
Thanks very much, Basil
we gotta
Breen.
wrap it up. I appreciate what you're doing.
I appreciate it,
and,
We were dying to fucking do this show.
I know. I didn't know it was gonna be
dying to
this
swallow.
good.
No, we were dying for a man, and like
we were
fucking.
dying for it,
There
yeah.
was a point where we forgot though. Well, I forgot. You know what
No,
I mean?
like, I kind of kept it in my mind. I was like, it is this weekend. I kind of,
Yeah.
I was making sure, basically texting me.
You did text me, yeah.
But I did. I knew it was in my mind. Like I was like,
I
"Man,
appreciate it,
him,
yeah.
him, I have to fucking be on
Oh,
top of
like,
him."
you know what I mean? I just completely fucking forgot. And I was like, because he just hits me up on like Friday. You know, Basil Breen podcast on Sunday. I was like,
It wasn't Friday. Like,
It was last night.
yeah, exactly. You know, it's at 4 a.m. It was today.
Are you alright? Like, we had that podcast,
that
yeah?
was the head this morning.
He fucking rings me at 4:30 and he's like, you better not be late to this thing. I'm in work, right? He's out on the fucking session, right? And then, like, alright, so in fairness to him, he rings me at 10 a.m, right? I'm in bed.
Yeah, with a battle.
I'm staying right next to Connolly Station where they could have got the fucking train, right?
I didn't even got a shower or nothing.
This fella rings me, he's like, oh yeah, no, we can't be late to this thing. I'm like, right, I'm gonna get ready and leave and meet you in town. Yeah, no, but see you in a minute.
So low.
I rang him.
Shut up, man.
20 minutes later, I rang him. He's fucking waking up.
Fair
I
play.
wasn't waking up. I was just.
He's been
was
on
in
a great
bed.
show today. Fair play.
Yeah, no, it's true.
I'd love to see as if he's a fresh. Or
Right.
maybe not. Maybe
don't-
it'd be too
you don't
much.
wanna see it.
That's still fucking.
We have to
mental,
fucking
right?
nerf ourselves sometimes.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're gonna wrap it up, and we'll
Yeah.
catch yous in the next one.
Up the rat, seven, up the rat.
We're getting cancelled.
Oh, can we show our tattoos before you stop?
Oh yeah.
I don't know how we're gonna do that.
I don't know, can we POV shot this? Can you like move the camera back
Just do whatever you need to do.
around our ankles?
If it fall, yeah, go. All right. Okay, this is a world exclusive.
This is it, like, breaking the 412, baby.
Breaking the fourth wall.
We are creatures, baby.
Oh wait, what happened there?
Oh no,
no.
he deleted the entire thing.
No, just.
He didn't record it.
Oh no, he didn't press record.
I have to start a new video.
Fuck it.
Alright, fuck it. Anyway, look, that one's there. It's saying.
It's still being recorded here though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Actually, take the video and just overdub it. Or overlay it.
Let me see.
What's it?
Oh my goodness.
Over Dublin.
Overdub it, photo or picture.
It's insane.
Well,
I'm saying I'm after hitting my memory. I can see that video, it's like 2 hours, 7 minutes.
That seems about
I'll
right.
make another one.
Fuck it.
Oh yeah,
That's interesting. I didn't know how to hit my max.
World exclusive.
Video's there anyway.
Yeah. Imagine that happened halfway through, we didn't know it.
Oh, brilliant, yeah. Oh, thank God.
Did you get the rap part at the end?
Oh, we might just have the audio for that.
Oh.
Oh, no. I'll keep the audio in. Oh, what's the stop? The fucking... I deleted everything.
Listen, right, we just start all over again from the start.
Well, no, we have the audio.
We have the audio.
For the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's grand. That's grand. Do you know what? We'll pay an animator to just come up with the rest.
Yeah. Well, look, I'm stopping the audio.
Okay.
Now, right? It's got all lined up.
Sinn Féin.